live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we have a little bit of breaking news, I guess. They got the Gaza deal going. Maybe that's going to go through. Maybe it's not. Who knows? Because they've been fighting since the dawn of man over there. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Chicago ICE raids are still happening. Operation Midway Blitz. The last number I saw was at least 1,000 illegal aliens detained. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, apparently the top California gubernatorial candidate to replace Gavin Newsom is Katie Porter, of course, a Democrat. And she appears to be a tad bit crazy. Just a tad bit crazy, a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, do you guys know who Hasan Piker is, the streamer? He is Cenk Uygur's nephew. He's very popular. Super leftist, communist, eat the rich, all this, that, and the third. But he might be getting canceled now because of the use of a shot collar on his dog to keep the dog in the same position for hours and hours and hours of his stream in the background as a prop. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the government shutdown rages on and tempers are flaring on the left. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a few things happening here. Shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me. Thank you guys who were on the Instagram stream last night. Had a lot of fun. If you guys don't know, I stream every Tuesday on the Instagrams at 9 p.m. Eastern to who knows when. You know, the old school party flyers, 9 p.m. until whenever. But it don't be that long. It don't be as long as this stream right here. But shout out to you guys who were on that stream. I appreciate y'all for joining. Shout out to the Facebook community. The Facebook community and the Instagram community are both growing. So shout out to you guys if you're watching me right now from those platforms. And also, shout out to the Chinese app. I ain't going to say its name. To all those who are over there, hey, man, I'm going to do my best to try and infiltrate, but they don't really like me too much. I'm a little bit too much for them over there. They want something a little bit more palatable. I might be a little bit too direct. It's too much. It's too much. If you're a brand new normie and you come across my pages, my accounts, my takes on things, it might be a little bit too much. But I'm everywhere else. Wherever you are, I'm there. This is also an audio streaming podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just search ABL Live on your favorite audio streaming platform, and that should pop right on up. There is quite a bit happening here. The Chicago ICE raids. Listen, the craziest thing that I've seen is this woman, Katie Porter. The Democrats are suffering an issue nationwide. They don't really have anybody to run for office. They're trying to talk about Jasmine Crockett. Really? Jasmine Crockett ain't nothing but a Goebbels. Jasmine Crockett is a mouthpiece. Her job is not to legislate. Her job is not to do anything that she was elected to do. Her job is to get sent by the Democrats, and she'll say that that's what she does in a little bit. She gets sent by Democrats to go to certain places to try and win people over, to try and just spread a message, to try and spread propaganda. That's her job. It's not legislation. It's not representing her constituents. It's being the mouthpiece of the Democratic Party. AOC, same thing. And it's funny because AOC, a lot of these leftists get in trouble from their own people because of the things they say. They'll put out a certain narrative that they want you to believe that they believe. And then once they violate that narrative, they get punished, at least temporarily. They get punished. Okay. And you know what? I think that happened to Puff Daddy too. I think he got punished because at one point, remember, Orange Man bad, he's terrible, all this, that, and the third, although they were good friends back in the day because Trump knows him as Puff. The same way I know him as Puff because we know Puff from back in the 90s when he first came out. When he was rapping, us Puff Daddy. 1994. Remember that, Puff. Remember the Jive Records Puff. Remember the Puff before Biggie. Remember the Puff when she had when you had Mary J. Blige when she was smoking crack with KC from KC and JoJo. Remember that, Puff Daddy. So don't forget where you come from now, Puff. Okay, you went over there with them other people to try and side with them and do whatever you wanted to do, but you did something that they didn't like and you got punished. The crime you got prosecuted, the crime you were convicted of is nothing. They were just trying to send you and others like you a message. That's all that it was. That's all that it was. And sometimes when they get out of line on the left, they get sent a message, they get sit down for a minute, they get punished, or sometimes they get vanished. And sometimes it's not even always left versus right thing. Sometimes if you're on the right and do something that the powers that be, the big dogs don't like, it might be a problem for you. Okay, it might be a problem for you. He wants to go to Fort Dix. He does want to go to Fort Dix, D-I-X. Don't nobody, hey, your minds, get them out of the gutter. Okay, get your minds out of your gutter. Hey, free Puff. Free Puff. At this point, you know, it's crazy because they're making me say free Puff Daddy. They're making me say that. I have to say it now because I see what happened. It was a miscarriage of justice. You can't beat the case and then still get sentenced for your crime. It's like, nah, ain't no crime. I beat it. If you want to convict me, then convict me. Don't not convict me and then still try to sentence me, still trying to punish me. But again, it's not even about nothing other than somebody got mad and now Puff and whoever else gets in the way got to get punished. It's simple as that. But yeah, the bigger thing for me is the whole migrant crisis. These migrants, man, listen. And people get offended sometimes when I talk about the migrants, but I'm never going to stop because the problem is the migrants, when you come here illegally, when you just do whatever you want to do, it creates a problem for regular everyday people. It creates a really big problem. So it's like, what do you want us to do? Nothing? Just sit here and take it? Now we're going to do something. And if you get offended, hey, I can't do nothing for you. I can't do nothing for you. Now, somebody says free Puff. Why? You need to free Puff because he beat the case and they still want to sentence him. See, what's happening with Puff is what I was saying before. Some people think that he's a bad person and that he should get a lot of years in jail because of their perceived negative opinion about him. All they really know that he did is beat up Cassie. I'm not saying that's okay, but let's talk about how much time you get for assault and battery, especially in New York City. People get beat up and there's never any charges at all. Savannah Craven, we saw Savannah Craven get 2-piece right on camera and nothing happened. Alvin Bragg dropped it talking about, oops, made a mistake. Oops, we didn't file it. Okay, you got a high profile case that went viral and you just forgot to make, okay, whatever. You're never going to prosecute that because it's New York City and a lot of these big cities, they don't even try to prosecute like assault battery. It is what it is. But Puff gets a year in the federal detention center and paid Cassie $20 million. That's more than what Savannah Craven got for getting beat up right there in New York City. See, like me, I'm just consistent across the board. And sometimes when people are not consistent, they don't really get it because they think from a different perspective. They don't think about being consistent when it comes to law, when it comes to crime, when it comes to punishment. They think, well, I think Puff is a bad person. Therefore, it doesn't matter what crime he's convicted of. He should get 1,000 years in the penitentiary, even if he gets convicted of shoplifting or something like this. My thing is, if someone is such a bad person, it's up to the justice system to do their job and present a case that it can win. And when they can't do that, it's more of an indictment on them, in my opinion, if there's so much evidence against somebody. If you got a laundry list of things that somebody's done and you got a treasure trove of information and evidence against a person, and you come up with nothing, that's your fault. It's not nobody else's fault but the prosecution. And again, James Comey's daughter was on the case. Do you think James Comey's daughter is a competent person? Do you think that she is a prosecutor at SDNY in the feds because she's a great lawyer or because she's James Comey's daughter? Sometimes nepotism doesn't really work very well. LeBron James is probably the best basketball player ever. Argue in the chat about who's the best. It don't even really matter. It's fine. Everybody has an opinion. In my opinion, LeBron is probably the best to ever do it. His son, however, not really. If not for LeBron, his son would never have been drafted. Sometimes nepotism doesn't really work very well. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay, sometimes it does. Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Jr., okay, the Sr. made a great son in Jr., but sometimes it don't go that way. Sometimes, and James Comey was not a great person himself. So if you're already not a great person, how are you going to produce another great person? It's kind of difficult. It's kind of hard. It can be done, but, the odds are stacked against you. Okay, the odds are stacked against you. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with it, man. I just want, because the thing is, if I celebrate what happened to him, then the same thing can happen to any of us. It happened to Donald Trump and everybody else. Barry Bonds, that's right. Okay, and his dad. Barry Bonds, of course. Oh, he was on steroids. Well, listen, the last time I checked, steroids does not make you better able to hit the ball. Maybe you hit the ball further. Maybe you can train harder. But before Barry Bonds became Big Barry, he was Little Barry, and knocking it out the park, running. He was doing everything on the baseball field before the steroids. So yeah, definitely one of the best. Shout out to Bonds Sr. and Bonds Jr. Right on. All right. That's right, Observer. So Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. played on the same team at the same time. Kind of like what LeBron and Bronny did with the Lakers. But of course, Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. is much different than LeBron and his son, Bronny. All righty. But shout out to you guys. Now, did you guys see what happened with Hasan Piker, the streamer? So Hasan Piker, if you guys don't know, he's a really popular streamer among the youngsters out there, the Gen Zs and younger, I believe. He's like, 32, 33 years old. He is Cenk Uygur's nephew. So he is a streamer. He streams for a long time, longer than me. He might go 4.5 hours. During the majority of the stream, his dog is sitting in the background in one spot, just chilling. But when he was on stream recently, he appeared to grab off camera at something, and then the dog whimpered and sat right back in the spot because the dog was kind of just roaming around. My thing is, he probably has shock collared the dog to train him to sit right there in the spot to be a prop in the video, to be a prop on the streams. It's not very nice, man. You got a dog that wants to move around and not be sedentary. Let that dog move around, roam around. And you know what? I would never get a dog and just keep it in one spot, keep it in their house. I don't even have no dogs now for that reason. I got a little bit of space where I live, but my next house, I'm going to get a much bigger property. So I can just let the dogs out and they could just roam outside and play and actually do things rather than just kind of doing what he had the dog doing. And the funniest part about the whole thing with the dog, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that. I have the video. We'll get to it later. The funniest thing about that is he could say all types of things and not really get canceled. He could say death to the IDF. He can say delete conservatives. He could say Charlie Kirk deserved it. He could say all those things. But then when it comes to the dog, now, wait, hold on. You can say whatever you want about that human being. You can threaten to delete people. That's fine. But don't you dare touch a hair on the chin of that dog. If you do, it's going to be a lynch mob immediately. That's the kind of energy I got from Hasan Piker. But we'll get to that a little bit more a little bit later. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And that's right, Monique. Hey, he need to get a consultator dog. He need to get like a little lazy dog, just be chilling, a lap dog. But that dog ain't really that. That dog want to kind of just be, roaming around, seeing what's going on. Listen, when I get dogs, I'm going to let them just go off leash most of the time. They're going to be off leash and they're going to roam around within confines. I would not have my neighbors have to do with the dog off the leash. It'd be within the fenced area and everything would be nice and safe. But what I wouldn't do is put it on the shot collar to make it be a background prop in my stream. That's just really ridiculous. Okay, that is really crazy. Steven says there's an older video of him grabbing a different dog by its tail. It's on Reddit. Yeah, no surprise there. Just like it's no surprise that the potential next governor of California, Katie Porter, who totally flipped out on the CBS News California lady for a simple question about Trump supporters. It's no surprise that in divorce documents of 2013, her former husband said that she was abusive and she was crazy. She was throwing things at him, that she poured hot mashed potatoes on his head. You know how crazy you got to be? You know how crazy you got to be to pour hot mashed taters on somebody's dome piece? Like, what is that all about? And they go to double standard. Let a man do something like that to a woman, because it's really abuse. Now, I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, ain't no such thing as abuse from a woman. Yes, it is. And if you saw her size, listen, a young lady of that size, of that girth, okay, of that width, of that breadth, a woman that size with that anger is like Mike Tyson in 1987. Oh, man, they will, listen, them big bull daggers will stomp you clean, smooth in the wine. Real talk. I'll tell you what, I'm not a fighting guy, all right? But I'd much rather fight a regular man than a bull dagger, a big bull dagger, not a pretendo bull dagger. Like, to me, y'all know I always say bull dagger. When I say that, I'm talking about a butch, masculine lesbian that's usually kind of big and could probably fight you and beat you up. Male, female, young, old, it don't matter. I don't want to fight that kind of person, nor do I want to fight a super feminine black gay dude, because they will beat you completely up. Listen, you never really been punched hard until you got punched by a 6'5" black transformer. Oh my God. Like, man, all of this right here is going to be missing. Man, listen, I had an uncle. I know I got a cross-dressing uncle back in the day. He was like that. Floyd Mayweather would not get hit if you're trying to hit him, but will punch you and it'd be night-night. One hitter quitter. He'd do all of that with high heels and a dress on. So, look, you wouldn't be in Popeye's chicken tripping over your combo meal. You got it, Miss Drika, whatever your name is. Don't worry about it. Hey, Katie, don't worry about it. You want the parking space that bad? You can have it. Knock yourself out, because I don't want you to knock me out. So those are my two ones I don't want to fight right there. The big bull dagger or the 6'5" basketball playing, Joanna man looking black transgender. I'm good. Don't worry about it. But who do you think? Do you think Katie Porter, speaking about her, do you guys think she's going to win in California? Because it's not going to be Gavin. He's got a term limit, right? And he'll probably be running in 2028 to become president, even if not for the term limit. So it's not going to be Gavin. I like Chad Bianco, the conservative. Was he a sheriff out there in California? I like him a lot. But it's California. Do you think Chad Bianco has a chance in California? Also, do you think that California is rigged? I'm not going to say that the entire election process is rigged. In my state, in Tennessee, we don't have that kind of problem. It's nice and secure here. In California, however, it might be a little bit different. Do you think it's rigged for Democrats to win Or do you think that there's so many leftists in California, it's going to go one way regardless of what's going on? It's still going to be left, left, left regardless. It don't even really matter, rigged or no rigged, it'll still go that way. Maybe she thinks she got it in the bag. Everybody's on her side. She got selected to become elected to be the governor. She's like, look, don't ask me no questions about trying to reach the other side. I don't care about that. Do you think it's that way? Or do you think that there's still a chance for someone else to come in and be the nominee? Or do you think there's a chance for a Republican to win in California? I mean, it'd be the first time in a long time, but first time for everything, I suppose. Okay. Hey, Nikki says, what's Chad Bianco? Chad Bianco is running for governor in California. He's a conservative, a good guy. I got a video about him on my channel. You can check it out if you've not seen it. Carolyn Jones says, Chad Bianco, if not red, California potentially red. I don't know, because California, it's hard to kind of get a gauge on it. Like, it's so massive and it has such a sprawling footprint all over the left coast. It's difficult to just put California in one box. Unfortunately, I think that California is dominated by San Francisco and Los Angeles and its surrounding areas. And I think you can kind of gauge the whole state based on those places, which is kind of unfair, but it's just the reality of the situation. That's going to be your population center, your economic center. Everything is right there in those two places for the most part. So we'll see. When's the last time a California governor was Republican, said Stephen B? What was it? The governor, Arnold? I think that might have been the governor back in the day. And when was that? From 03 to 11. Okay. And was he a Republican when he ran? Y'all let me know. But I think that was the last one, Arnold. And I think Gavin's been governor since then. Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing. So he became the governor from, okay, he was a lieutenant governor in 2011 to 2019. What? Wait a minute. No, that can't be right. Oh, I got some. Okay. He was a lieutenant governor from 11 to 19, and then he became the governor in 19. And the governor back then, when he was a lieutenant governor, was Jerry Brown. Okay, and Jerry Brown, again, was he Democrat? I'm pretty sure. Yep, Democrat. So, and then Arnold was Republican, but kind of a left-leaning Republican. So to answer the question, the last Republican governor of California was 2011. We're talking about how many years ago? 14 years ago? That's a little while ago. Some of y'all weren't even born when last time you had a Republican governor in California, but it could happen again. It really could. So we'll see. We shall see. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. We got quite a few things to review today. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, shout out to you guys, of course, for watching, for being the first sponsor of the show, but also shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or just visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. That link and all my links will be in the description box. Go to anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and on that front page, you'll be able to find articles for each full-length video that I produce, and in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you ever think you're speaking to me on the internet, you're probably not, especially if it's not coming from my email address. My email is very easy to remember, contact@anthonyblogan.com. If you can't remember, go to the website. It's always right there on the contact page. If that email is not corresponding with you or conversing with you on the interwebs, it's not me. I don't have any miracle way to get money in 2 hours. You cannot contact me and send me an Apple iTunes gift card and become a multi-millionaire in 45 minutes. It don't work like that. And if it did, I would do it because can I be a multi-millionaire too? That'd be great. But please, please, please don't get scammed in 2025. Don't nobody got no time for that. And if they get you on the phone, you already know how they're going to sound. They're going to sound like this and not going to sound like me. They're going to take all your money. They're going to scam you now. Don't get scammed in 2025. I beg. Please, don't do it. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking. We got some things to discuss. Now, I want to start with this. I don't know if you guys are seeing this in your neck of the woods, but I'm seeing these all over the place. Whenever I go to Atlanta, I see these food robots, these food delivery robots. And I'm seeing the Waymos. Waymos and the food bots are everywhere. And the thing about the food bots, they give them names. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but the one in front, I think, is called Lupita, as in like Lupita Nyong'o. I done seen these things be named Jeffrey and all kind of just random stuff. If I see, listen, food bot delivery guys, if I see a Walmart Tavius, I'm calling the cops. I be like, look, man, they playing games. They watching my streams. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. Go ahead and take them off the street. Now, this guy, I don't know what's happening. Either he's raging against the machine, raging against automation, or it's unemployed behavior, or a combination of both. Let's watch.
He's literally putting rocks in front of them. Ah, look at him. What an asshole.
Now, I'm going to turn the sound down because you could just see what he's doing. Now, obviously, these food bots have to have a clear path. If they don't, they can't really go, they can't really do nothing. And I've seen them do this. I've been there where they were stuck behind trash cans. It's like, look, I can't do nothing for you. First of all, I was told that Americans didn't want to work. That's number one. But number two, I'm not touching no random trash can in Atlanta. Who knows what's on the trash can? Who knows what's on that? Ain't gonna be no hand sanitizer, soap, fire, nothing that will remove what would come from the trash can on your hands. So I'm not gonna do it. But this guy is actively blocking the bots from being able to go from point A to point B. I want to ask y'all, what's your opinion about that? Do we like this? Do we not like this? Is it a good thing, bad thing? Personally, I wouldn't do it. I understand the motivation behind it, but I wouldn't do it. If they get stuck on their own, I'm not going to help them, but I'm not going to be taking bricks from a loose piece of sidewalk to put in front of it to block it. Okay. Now, also in Atlanta, we got the same food robots, but I don't know what's happening here. Are they having a party? Are they having the meeting about that dude? Are they plotting how to get revenge? Is this like Caesar and Planet of the Apes when they had that meeting? And then they got spied on and they were like, what are you doing here? Well, let's watch some of this.
What the fuck? Why are they all in one place?
They're high. I don't know.
Y'all better leave these robots alone, okay? Because what happens when AI becomes sentient? And then they say, you know what? Captain Man-Bun from earlier, you want to put bricks on me? All right, well, watch this. I don't know what's going on here. It can't be a docking station. I don't see any power core. I don't see it, just kind of up there chilling. So I don't really know what's going on. You know what? It's some weird stuff happening. And I think it's kind of being normalized. Something like that. Again, yo, APD, you want to explain? Okay, I'm gonna take it be a selfie. APD, you want to explain this? What's happening behind me? This reminds me of when I told the story before, when I was coming home from my my art class in Portsmouth, and my dad lived right down the street. So I'll go into my dad's house. I'm like 18, 19. And there was this big building where they be doing sculptures. And it wasn't a big building, but it had a big glass window. And I could see through the glass their sculptures. It looked like 10,000 clown sculptures in there. And they were all facing forward. I'm like, you know what? I'm not really a big clown fan, okay? So I see 10,000 clowns. There's a little bit in me. There's a chip in me that gets activated thinking that they might just animate out of nowhere. I don't want to get beat down by 10,000 clowns at night by myself. I'm good. The same way I don't want them robots to turn on me and do something crazy to me. But yeah, shout out to Atlanta. Okay, stay weird. But you know who's weirder than what we just saw? These two young ladies right here, okay? So they got a song for Jimmy Kimmel, okay? Now, if you're wondering, hey, ABL, who was really offended? Who was really missing Jimmy Kimmel? Hey, if you ask, you shall receive. So they got a song. You ready? Ready for a little cringe? Let's do it.
Ask Kimmy stood in front of everyone to tell the truth again. He's funny and insightful. We find him delightful. Every snarky biteful from beginning to the end. You could take him off the air, but you couldn't keep him there. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Flip the bird to the FCC. Tweet, 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 tweet. Whoops. Even Cruz woke from his snooze, said Republicans would lose. Cause if we censor Jimmy and Fox News is what comes next. Oh, 3 cheers for Jimmy. Oh, that smart ass Kimmy stood in front of everyone to tell the truth again. Well,
that is quite enough. So the Banjo Sisters have delivered their message. They love Jimmy Kimmel, and the FCC, they were in the wrong. So did you guys like the song? Are you feeling it? Is it right up your alley? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. So I'm sure they're glad that Jimmy's back on the air. I'm sure. They can watch it every night and say Orange Man bad 15 times every hour. If they like it, I love it. If they like it, I love it. But me personally, I can't do nothing with Jimmy Kimmel. That's not really my cup of tea. That's not really my thing. You're suing Summer Sky? Hey, man, I might have to get right in there with you. Class action lawsuit. Okay. Oh, they're the View fans as well? Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Now, Bad Bunny. You guys know about Bad Bunny. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe I said it before. But Bad Bunny is performing at the big game, Super Bowl next year. He is Puerto Rican, but he does not have any songs in English. Now, my issue with Bad Bunny is, okay, if you're going to have a halftime act, let them have songs in English. I don't know any of Bad Bunny's music. The last time I heard music that was not in English, it goes back to the Daddy Yankee days, back in like maybe almost high school. Maybe I'm too old to really understand what's going on. I don't know any of Bad Bunny's music, and I'm not ever going to know because it's not in English. So there's a whole big thing about that. If you say anything about that on the internet, you're going to get a lot of angry fans. The Bad Bunny have, they're going to come at you. But there's a little bit more that meets the eye with this whole situation. Okay. Now, some may say, oh, conspiracy theory or whatever. Let's just hear my man out and see if it makes sense or not. Maybe it does make sense. Maybe it doesn't. Okay. And before we start, I am a hater. This hair right here, hey man, if I can get hair like that, that'd be fantastic. But shout out to him. Let's watch.
Bad Bunny is a plan. You know who's the owner of the Bad Bunny company? Rafael Jimenez Dan, vice president of the defense of Chavez in Venezuela.
You think he's a plant, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it is. Everybody is bland. You know, everybody is like this. Don't see the truth. They have a plan to destroy the democracy. They want to everybody be comunista. Show me what happened with comunista in Venezuela or in Cuba or in Nicaragua. Show me what good do. Nothing. Bad Bunny is.
So there's a take right there. And if what he's saying is correct, I'm not surprised, because these music artists, when they get really big like that, when they get put in the limelight like that, there's an agenda behind it. You can't just become a superstar for nothing. I'm talking about mega star, especially if it's out of nowhere. I'm not saying Bad Bunny came out of nowhere, but once you get to that level, it gets a little bit different. It gets different. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some political action behind this man to put him out there in the front for their own nefarious purposes. I would not be surprised. Now, here is NFL Hall of Fame running back Eric Dickerson talking about Bad Bunny. Okay. And I probably can't play too much of this because it's TMZ. They love to do copyright. So I'm going to just play a little bit.
I'm not surprised the NFL to do something like this. You know, that's how they have that political crap. They like they good guys and they not. But, you know, Bad Bunny, where's Bad Bunny from?
He's from Puerto Rico.
To Puerto Rico. You don't want to, if you don't like the U.S., keep his ass over there.
Apparently, well, Puerto Rico is part of the U.S.
I know, but still, if you don't want, he don't like the U.S., I mean, don't come in and perform.
Now, let's pause. The reporter trying to be funny. We all know Puerto Rico part of the U.S., but Bad Bunny said he didn't want to come to the U.S., mainland U.S., because of the ICE raids. Are they doing ICE raids in Puerto Rico? No, they're not. So let's not act like it's the same. Let's not act like Puerto Rico is like Washington, D.C. It's not. It's like a separate thing. It's part of us, but it's not us. Okay. Most Americans can easily go within the lower 48 for the most part. Have you been to Guam before? No, you haven't. You see, so it's different. It's different. The language, culture is far away. Tropical is not the same thing as mainland lower 48. And everybody know that. And he even knows that, speaking about Bad Bunny, because he said he didn't want to come to mainland U.S. and perform because of the ICE raids. However, when it comes to the big game next year, he'll give us a pass.
A lot of parents are kind of up in arms because some of his content's kind of adult.
Yeah.
He talks about partying, women, this and that. You know, what do you make of that? Is that okay?
I mean, what songs don't?
All right, that's enough for there, because again, it is TMZ and they will try to claim me, so I can't show too much of it. But yeah, shout out to Eric Dickerson. Look, if you don't want to be mainland U.S., just stay where you at, and don't say, "Oh, well, Puerto Rico is the U.S." Well, if that's the case, then why did he say he didn't want to come to the mainland U.S.? You see what I'm saying? Like, let's not play that kind of game, because that'll be the first thing they say when you say something about Bad Bunny. Oh, did you know Puerto Rico part of the U.S.? Yes, I did know that, Mr. Brainiac. Thank you for the education. Now, this woman says, you know what? If you got a problem with Bad Bunny, don't even go to the Caribbean. Just stay away from the Caribbean, and that's it. Let's watch. Philip says, I was on Guam and it flipped over. That's a nice deep cut from Hank Johnson back in the day.
You are against Bad Bunny playing at the halftime show for the Super Bowl. you should be barred from all Caribbean islands. You know, you can't go to Puerto Rico and enjoy the beauty of Puerto Rico, the ocean, the sand, the drinks, the food, the culture, and then be against it when it's convenient for you. Just don't go to those islands. Don't put your butt in the chair. Don't put your toes in the sand. Don't get that cold drink in your hands. Because you have to accept all of it, including its people and its native language. And if you can't do that, then none for you. You are...
Okay, there's a lot there. Now, look. If I go to Puerto Rico, Mexico, wherever, I know they have their native language, but I would hope you got a tourist spot where they speak a little bit of English, so I'm able to communicate. If they don't have that, then I won't go there. It's simple as that. That's my preference. That's what I want to do. Same thing. You got NFL halftime show, Super Bowl, and they're playing music I don't know, that I don't understand. I'm not going to watch. It's just that simple. Nothing against nobody. He could be from Tokyo, Japan. He could be somewhere in Africa. He could be from Antarctica. He could be a whole penguin. If you speak English and I enjoy the music, then let's rock on. But if not, I just don't understand, especially if it's my first time ever hearing them. That's not a very good way to introduce yourself in a way that I can't understand if the goal is to get me to enjoy it. It's not about Puerto Rico. It's not about the Caribbean islands. It's about just not being able to communicate properly. Proper communication is really important. I suppose it still is. I don't know if it is anymore. But shout out to you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Ryan says, imagine if immigrants had to respect our native language. You know what? And now we're getting, you know what? She kind of sounded like Trump right there. It's like, okay, you got to respect their language in their homeland. Okay. Tell that to the illegal aliens coming over here, truck driving. They don't speak no English. Straight from Bangladesh, no English. Can't read road signs, causing fatalities. That's actually a really good idea. That's a good point. Respect our language and you be good. Now, this person says, I don't even know, man. You know, with these genders and but this is kind of what I'm talking about. These people try to become minorities and they try to gain from being a minority when they call themselves victims. You understand what I'm saying? What you have right here is a regular white guy, and it's okay to be a white guy. It's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But he wants to identify as something else to become a victim and then capitalize off being a victim. It's just like DEI. You got big bulldaggers, white bulldaggers that became something else. Now I'm transgender. Now I'm this. Now I'm that. And through that, they were able to capitalize and get monies and jobs and opportunities and whatnot. Let's watch some of this, shall we?
This is an urgent call to all trans people, people of color, anybody potentially affected by this shit. Please reach out to me if you would like me to boost your videos, specifically right now. Please give money to trans people. Please give money to black people. Please give money to people who need to leave, because we need to leave. We need to get to safety very, very soon. It's going to be very bad. Please give them money. Please give me money. I am trans. My partner is trans. We need to get out of here. We need to get to safety. Please send us money.
I have questions. First of all, where are you going to go? Where is safety? Where are you safer than in USA? Tell me that. But you're going to go to Canada? Okay, great. Good luck with that. Canada ain't nothing but US part 2. And it's pretty cold up there. And you appear to be kind of a tropical young man. So are you going to enjoy that cold? Where are you really going to go where you're going to be safe and free and whatnot? And why you got to put black people in it? You identify as trans. I don't know, transmission, Trans Am. I see a white man. Again, and it's okay. But what does being black got to do with what you got going on mentally. I don't like how we get put in the middle of it. If you want some money for yourself, just say that. Don't try to invoke a black person and say, well, because I'm trans, I'm a minority and blacks are too, so send them money and then send me money. Nah, bro. If you're broke, just say that. If you need help, just say that. Don't try to become a victim and then weaponize it and then put others into your mix. That's my only issue with the Transformers. They promote certain things and they try to put others into their mix. That's just not what I'm into. So let them go to Iran, huh? Let them go to Iran. They'd be safe right there. Yeah, I believe so. Okay, we got our Don Lemon interview. Okay, with a guy, I'm not quite sure what the race is. But let's just watch some of this, shall we?
We're talking about the current environment, political environment. How are you feeling about that?
Unsettled and reassured by humanity is the short answer.
What do you mean by that?
So this weekend I was at a NASCAR race, and obviously there's some stigma attached to NASCAR. And what was really clear to me is that in the end, people are people. And whether you look a certain type of way, whether you're wearing a certain color hat, whether you're not, when you are at an event and there's a shared love and a shared intersection, people really just end up being people, right? And I was really warmed and taken back by my own preconceived notations of what I should be expecting.
We're talking about the current.
There you go. So maybe what I get from that, maybe he went to the NASCAR event not knowing what to expect. He goes to the event not knowing what to expect, and he's met with love. It's a fun time. There was no Bubba Wallace news or nothing like that hanging around. Everybody was just chilling, having a good old time. They're just human beings. You go into it thinking that's going to be a racist situation. You're going to be in danger or it'd be some other kind of weird stuff happening, but it's not quite that way. It's just like going to a Trump rally. Same thing. Whenever I gone to a Trump rally, it was all love. Nothing but love. People in there, they will talk to you. It don't matter if they black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, young, old. It don't matter. Everybody's cool. Everybody's nice because people are there for a good purpose. They're there for a good reason. Now, sometimes you get those who are there with bad intentions. That can happen. But generally, 99.99% of everybody going to be there for a common shared interest that's about fun and having a good old time. You're not really going to experience difficulties in that kind of environment. Simple. So yeah, shout out to Don Lemon. You know, Don Lemon, the thing about him, he's going out there and talking to people and allowing them to give their perspective, their point of view. So I can respect him for that. I can respect Don Lemon for doing that. Although I don't like his politics, I appreciate the fact that he's able to go out there and have civil discussions. Even though the discussion is oftentimes him trying to convince the other person that he's right or trying to steer them into answer the question in a certain kind of way, he's still able to have the open dialogue with people, and I appreciate that for sure. I absolutely appreciate that. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Devin says, I expect cars going around in circles. Is there more? Well, he probably expect there to be some kind of Klan rally. You know, Juicy Smouye, he expects there to be some big bodybuilding Nigerians that identify as white men to come out and put bleach on them and some Ace Hardware twine on his neck. It's MAGA country and the polar vortex. Maybe he expects that. But once he goes there, he just sees a good old time and that's it. Okay, now someone, look, y'all know me. I'm on the phone. Hey, cops, can you please come? But someone called the cops on this man for this sign.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Get out of our neighborhood. You are not welcome here. Get out. Stop thinking about people's genitalia. Take your sign and get out of here.
No.
No one needs your hate. You're a disgusting, awful person. Then go at home and speak your truth at home.
No.
No. You want to be out in the cold with your face all covered so no one can see you, holding your big mean sign.
It's not a big mean sign. They're 3 words. What's a man then? Tell me.
It doesn't matter.
Nothing.
Why do you spend so much time thinking about it? Because you are in my neighborhood where I am raising my family, holding signs that are hateful to people here.
There's nothing hateful about it.
Then why do you have it?
Because you need to know the truth.
There are lots of truths. There's clouds in the sky. No one needs to hold a sign.
Oh,
That
so you're
sign
saying
is
it's
to
true?
provoke hate.
Is it true?
It is not true.
Then what's the truth?
The truth is, get the fuck out of my neighborhood.
See, they always are like that. You try to engage with them, they're not really going to engage. They're going to get triggered. They're going to flip out like this. That's pretty much the prototypical leftist. When presented with truth that they don't like, all they can do is just flip out this way. This is like what I saw from the potential California governor. Was that Katie Porter? Similar to this. Very similar. And the problem is, she said, it's a big, mean sign. When people come with the truth and you think it's mean, that's how things that are not true, things that are not real, become real. It's mean for you to say that this man is a man. Therefore, he's going to go into the women's restroom, locker room, bathroom, wherever he wants to go. Women in there are afraid to say that he's a man because they don't want to be seen as mean, because a ladies like that call on the mean for stating the obvious. But then by that time, it's too late. You got Paul Bunyan in the women's locker room with his stuff all over the place. It's not a very good look. So yeah, hopefully someone like that does not become in any kind of leadership role, because they're not going to do a very good job of serving their constituents. So yeah, shout out to you guys for understanding that, but I don't think she really gets it. I don't think she understands. Now, this is kind of on that same page with the sports and the Transformers. So Malcolm Gladwell came out against Transformers in sports. I'm not quite sure when this was. Sometime recently, I suppose. And what they always do. See, now I've done so many of these videos. I've noticed a pattern. I've noticed a pattern. The Transformer people, the men who now identify as women, got something in common, especially the white ones. They got that anger problem. It's a big anger problem. Now, when you get the black ones, they're going to be angry regardless of what. But when they get to be like, when they reach this form as a white guy, it's some kind of anger inside of them. From what, I don't know. But you know what? I got one word, therapy. That might work. Let's watch.
Malcolm Gladwell came out against trans women in sports recently. And Mal, I don't have a biological advantage just because the average nutless trans girl can still shove your dork ass into a locker. I bet your dad had to spend 10,000 hours trying to think of a reason he's proud of you. You got the physique of Christopher Lloyd after a hunger strike. How about you leave the sports talk to those of us who don't need an inhaler to play Fortnite, you fucking bitch? Malcolm Gladwell.
Okay, so see what I'm saying? And the Stone Cold music set it off perfect. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin with lipstick on and a coffee mug. And Bozeman, Montana, of course. Because why not? Because why not? That is what I'm talking about. So that might be number 3 of who I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight the big bull dagger, female lesbian. Okay, actual biological female that's like 250 pounds, and You got the big bull dagger lesbians that built like Daniel Cormier from UFC. I don't want to fight them. I don't want to fight the big 6'5" black basketball playing Transformers. I don't want to fight them. And I don't want to fight these guys looking like they got laid off from their steel mill job and now they've got a new life going on. I don't want to fight any of them. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a rough battle. So yeah, when you mix testosterone and mental illness with social media, you have a nuclear weapon, and I don't want no parts of it at all. I want no smoke. Okay? Now, I know I always say Transformers when talking about these people. Do you see this shirt? Do you see the shirt? It literally says Transformers, and I don't see no cartoon characters. I don't see no Optimus Prime. I don't see no Volkswagen Beetle that turned into a hip hop breakdancing person. I don't see any of that. I see what appears to be a shirt talking about herself or himself or they self. Let's see where the anger takes this person.
Me down, fascist, fucking. I don't give a fuck who you are. The fact that you feel this way makes you completely immoral, intolerant of anybody. I don't care if you have a fucking master's degree. I don't care if you feel like you're tall and proud. Go fuck yourselves. This is absolutely fucking disgusting. I can't believe you. And you can take your fucking Blue Lives Matter flag with you. You're welcome. Thanks. Nobody else, the fucking flags out front, nobody cares? Yeah. Everybody look away when it fucking matters, right? Everybody look the fuck away. Wave your flags all over Northampton, right? Yeah. Go. Bye-bye. Fucking human all over your chest. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Keep fucking telling yourself. Nobody, right? Fucking nobody, right? Nobody has a fucking problem with this. I'm the only fucking one.
First of all, I am so sorry for the cursing. But yes, Mr., you are the only one who has a problem with it. Everybody else minding their business. Seeing, Timu Ted Cruz right here, chilling. Ain't bothering nobody. Not trying to get recorded. He's just minding his good old-fashioned business. You, on the other hand, got the problem. And I think one thing that Americans can really just come together on is the idea of we're tired of these people who don't have it all the way together. They got a few screws loose, a few trees short of a forest, a few crayons short of an entire 64-account box. Okay? They're a few short. We're done with them. We're tired of them. So yes, you're the only one who cares. And it's okay. It's okay to be the lone wolf out there, but don't try to make me fit into your mind state. Starbucks. The Starbucks baristas have some new demands, some new issues they got to bring to the table. And this one I think is about the cups and some more stuff. Because what they were doing, what some guys are doing is having them write Charlie Kirk on the cups and stuff like this. But they got some other issues they want to discuss. Okay?
Forcing baristas to write on every single customer's cup under threat of discipline and restricting the dress code does not bring the changes that we need to be successful in our jobs.
Let's pause for a minute. The issue is Starbucks is one of 1,000 coffee shops. What are you going to do to stay relevant and to stand out? One thing that y'all do that I don't see done anywhere else is write on the actual coffee cups. That's something unique to Starbucks. And also your dress code. When I go in there, I want to know who's working there or not. If you got a septum piercing or whatnot, that's pretty much obligatory for a Starbucks employee. But I want to see that green apron and whatnot just so I understand where I'm at. I don't want to, the worst thing in the world is going in the store and approaching someone who doesn't work there, talking about something, do you work here? And it's insulting. It's like, do I appear to be a Walmart employee to you? But anyway, let's keep on going.
Today, my coworkers, along with the support of some community allies, came together and did our very first sip-in, where we also delivered a petition to our...
Wait. A what in? A what in? Hold on.
The allies came together and did our very first sip-in, where we also delivered a petition to our CEO, Brian Nickel. We called on him to return to the bargaining table and settle a first contract that brings real change, like improved staffing and better health and safety protections, instead of the shallow back to Starbucks policy changes that have been happening since the first of the year. Before my store was union, we were powerless, voiceless, burnt out, and disrespected. Today, we came together with the support of our community and used our voices to tell the company to listen to its Green Apron partners that it claims to value. We aren't afraid to speak out for what we know we deserve. And when we stand together and fight, we win.
Okay, so listen, it's Starbucks. It's a coffee shop. It's not that deep. To me, in my opinion, and don't nobody get offended, Starbucks is like a McDonald's. okay, it's like a starter job. It's not meant to be a career. Like if you're a barista behind the counter, how can that be a career? Like honestly, I mean, maybe if it's your coffee shop that you own, but if you are an employee at Starbucks, how can that possibly be a career? Make it make sense. I don't really understand. So I think you trying to make something be something that it shouldn't be. Unionizing. I would never think if I worked at a spot selling coffee that I'll be here forever making a career out of it. I'm thinking about doing something more, doing something bigger, doing something that's more important in society than working at Starbucks. Nothing against you guys work at Starbucks. Don't nobody get offended. If you go to Starbucks regularly, shout out to you. You know what? On my big back days, I go to McDonald's. But I never once thought that if you work there, you should be making Elon Musk money. I never thought that in my life. I thought that it's for like young people to work at as a starter job. And you start there and you move on to something else that's bigger and better. Not just trying to drain the resources from this place that was not designed to be that. It's crazy. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. So, earlier I spoke about Jasmine Crockett and how they sent her all over the country to speak. Her role is not to be a legislator, a lawmaker. It's not that. Her role is to be Goebbels, to go out there and just talk for the regime, to speak, to be a mouthpiece for the regime, especially in these urban black areas.
When it came,
and then the whole thing about that is when they send her out there, it's like what Obama did when this past election, scolding, hey, you guys better vote Democrat because this, that, and the third, you ain't gonna get your welfare, you ain't gonna get your food stamps. It's going out there to wag the finger, to keep you in your place. That's what her role is, and nothing more. But let's watch some of this.
When it came down to the presidential, I told the team, I said, stop sending me to all the urban centers. Yes, I can do that. Yes, but you got plenty of surrogates that can go do that. You need to send me to rural America. And they were looking like, huh? And I'm like, listen, I was in East Texas. I live there. I know the struggles. I know what it's like when the paper mill is threatened with shutting down or Cooper Tire may shut it. I know the struggles and the angst. I know how these small town economies work. I get it because I lived it. I still have property out there. Like I'm like, just try me, like, trust me on this. Right. When it came down.
Okay. So Jasmine, they send you to the urban centers because you are like them. They're not going to send you to rural America because you're not going to be effective. Furthermore, some think that she can run and become the president in 2028. Good luck. Good luck with that. First of all, one strike, you a woman. And I'm not trying to be misogynistic. Don't nobody get offended. Y'all know, that's not, you a woman. And then you got this hood right energy, usually. You're good for clicks and views on social media, but to become a leader, your role is exactly where they got you. Going to urban centers and talking to people all over the country every day rather than lawmaking. That's your role. And for real, someone like that shouldn't even really be in office because if you are just a speaker and you don't legislate, what's the point of being in office? Trying to be the next Kamala? Kamala couldn't even be Kamala. Kamala was terrible. Kamala was awful. Now, speaking about potential 2028 Democratic nominees to become the president, AOC. Did you guys see what AOC said? So AOC out here body shaming Stephen Miller. Did you guys see that? She said something about Stephen Miller and then had to come back and apologize. But let's watch what she said from the beginning.
Is that they are scrapping and grasping at straws because they have nothing else. Laugh at them. Stephen Miller is a clown. I've never seen that guy in real life, but he looks like he's like 4'10", and he looks like he is angry about the fact that he's 4'10", and he looks like he is so mad that he is 4'10", that he's taking that anger out at any other population possible. Like, laugh at them. Laugh at them. Yes, they are dangerous. Yes, we're here to be strong for one another. We need to expose the lies. We need to never let off the gas when it comes to protecting one another, exposing the lies, documenting things. We're seeing this too, right? And
so you get the idea about Stephen Miller. Oh, he's 4'10", he's mad, all this, that, and the third. Now, I thought that was not what you guys did over there on the left. I thought that body shaming was a bad thing. If I say that AOC getting kind of a big back and becoming a torta, then everybody want to tar and feather me. Then everybody want to say, ABL, why you say that? Now I'm the bad guy if I say that. But she says he's a lollipop kid, short and stout. It's okay. But apparently some people got offended and then they said something to her and they made her apologize. Okay? So here we go. Now, here is the apology. I'm so sorry y'all called Stephen Miller a short king, all this, that, and the third. Watch.
I want to express my love for the short king community. I don't believe in body shaming. I am talking about how big or small someone is on the inside.
Nah. On the inside, can you be 4'10" on the inside? I'm having a hard time understanding. And if you're 4'10" on the inside, then you are making 4'10" be a bad thing still. It's still the same thing. You're not going to be able to get around it. Okay. On the inside. That was a crazy way to try to clean that up, AOC. Come on now. If that is all you got, 2028, man, listen, I'm begging the Democratic Party. Please, please, please run AOC. Please do it. That would be so easy. Candy from a baby.
Someone is on the inside. Like, for example, I have no idea how tall Andrew Tate is. No idea at all. But that guy looks to me like 5'3", like 5'3", 5'4". Whereas physically, men of smaller stature can come across, they are spiritually 6 foot. If you're a good dad, if you're
AOC, like, wait. Are y'all hearing this? So you're not into body shaming, but if someone is a bad person, in your mind, that makes them short? AOC, do you not understand what you're saying? You don't get it, do you? Okay, all right. Democrats, please, man, run her.
If you stand with women, if you're not belittling immigrants, you're like, 6'3", spiritually. I don't know. Am I being problematic? I want to.
So there we go. All right. So that was not an apology at all. That was just some nonsense right there. Okay. That was just some nonsense. Listen, if you're spiritually 5'3", if you're a bad person, that means you think that being 5'3" is a bad thing. And those who are 5'3" are weak and incapable of being able to lead or anything like that. So you just said the same thing you said with Stephen Miller. You just remixed it. It's like saying people of color rather than colored people. You're saying the same thing. You just switched it around and made it fancy and put an of in the middle. Like, cut it out. Man. Oh, man. That's going to be... You have to run her, man. I need the comedy relief. It'd be great content. Oh, my goodness. Wow. All right. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, apparently there's a theater production. I don't know where these guys are, what kind of theater this is, but there's a theater production about how to deal with ICE and what your rights are when they approach you. Okay. Let's go ahead. Hey, we got some musicals tonight, I suppose. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Officer comes up to you. Here are a few things you can do. Ask for their name and badge number. Be sure to write this down. Ask for a warrant signed by a judge, which you won't let them in without. And don't say anything, don't sign anything, don't let them trick you into opening the door. Ask if you're free to go, ask for a lawyer, protect yourself and neighbors, and record.
Okay, so there we go. That is the advice they're giving you when the ICE come to your door, when you're about to get deported or whatever the case may be. All right. So hope y'all enjoyed the knee bending and whatnot, all the nice little dance moves. But listen, at the end of the day, I should have my own musical. Mine would be, you know what? If you don't want to get deported, don't come to the USA illegally. And when it's time to go back to your home country, take all your stuff and your kids with you. That'd be my song right there. Okay, look, hot freestyle, hot bars, no written. That's all freestyle. Okay. Hey, give me a Grammy right now. No Kendrick Lamar. Give me the Grammy right now for my hot freestyle. But that's what they should say rather than trying to tell criminal aliens how to avoid law enforcement. But that right there is an idea of what they do all over the country. And then they go out here in March. This is going to be Chicago, out there in downtown Chicago.
All power to the people. Nobody is illegal. All power to the people.
Okay, so again, you see the demographics of the march. I'm not trying to, but it's always the same people. And I think at a certain point, we all know that the same people are all over the country, not just in Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, but all over the entire USA. Okay, and a few locals to put in there, interspersed in the crowd of paid people. At this point, it's not a conspiracy to say that they're being paid to do this. It's a fact. We know they're being paid to do this. It's a verifiable fact. We got documentation. It's not even nothing. But some of them are just going to be local people trying to be involved with the mix. Okay, 1,000-year-old ladies out there trying to, you know what I mean, do their thing. Let's keep on going here. So we got the mayor. Hold on. This is what I wanted to show. The police superintendent out there in Chicago giving his 2 cents on what's happening with the city and the feds, ICE, etc.
Federal agents, ICE, HSI, are officers. They are agents of law enforcement. If you box them in with vehicles, it is reasonable for them to believe that they are being ambushed and that this could end in a deadly situation. And it's reasonable for them to use force based on those conditions. Do not box in any law enforcement officer. You are breaking the law when you do that. And you are putting yourself in danger. Following law enforcement agents around. The question is why? What do you plan on doing? It's also reasonable for them to believe that you're eventually going to do harm to them. If you ram any vehicle, especially that one that contains law enforcement agents, and that's any law enforcement, local, state, federal, county. And you do this intentionally, this is considered deadly force. Deadly force is anything that can cause great bodily harm or death. When you plow into a vehicle that contains law enforcement agents, you're using deadly force.
Now, this should be common sense, but some people, they look at it like they're doing the good thing. They're fighting the good fight. But all they're doing, they're being insurrectionists. They're being the Nazis that they say we are on the right. They're being the people who they claim to be fighting against. That's what they're doing. So I'm glad that law enforcement out there in Chicago is making an effort. I'm glad we got the feds out there to clean this up because it needs to be cleaned up. And Chicago in general has been needing this for quite a while. Okay. And here's the guy talking about block them, don't let them leave or whatever.
Use your cars. Block the parking lot. Don't let them leave with your neighbor. Right? Make their lives a living hell. Right? Use your cars.
See, people like that need to get locked up. Okay? When they act on things, because, okay, you got freedom of speech, but if you are conspiring to commit a crime, that's a crime right there. That's called conspiracy. You could get locked up for that. So I don't want any new laws to be created. I don't want laws to be taken out of their proper context and misused to penalize people when they shouldn't be penalized. But I want the laws that are on the books intended to fight certain things get enforced. That's what I would like to have happen. Okay, that is what I want to have happen. Now, speaking about crime in Chicago, we have a Latin Kings boss, because we got gangs that already existed in Chicago. We got a Latin Kings boss offering to put a hit on a Border Patrol chief, Gregory Bovino. Okay, and that guy, of course, the gang member, has been arrested, which is what should happen. All right, let's watch some of this.
We have other breaking news that we're following this afternoon. A high-ranking member of a street gang is charged with putting a hit out on a senior law enforcement official involved with Operation Midway Blitz. Police arrested 37-year-old Juan Espinoza Martinez this morning. And according to the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Chicago, Martinez sent a Snapchat message stating, quote, $2K on information when you get him and $10K if you take him down. The Tribune reports the alleged target was Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino. A court date has not been set. So have other.
So see what we're talking about? There's a problem with gang violence in Chicago. There's a problem with the illegal aliens in Chicago. And you're putting real people's lives in danger when you allow it to just fester like this. It's time to put it to an end. It's time. Gotta go. Gotta get up out of here. Got to go. Now, this is going to be Chicago Teachers Union president, of course. Now, my question would be, what kind of education are your kids getting if this is the president of the Chicago Teachers Union? What's really going on with the education if the thought process is like this? And the host is on the left with the eyes. We see the eyes. And there goes the union boss, Stacey Gates.
Enforcement stepped up in Chicago starting on Sunday. What are you seeing on the ground?
Chaos, uncertainty, a lot of fear and intimidation. The Sunday before school starts on Monday, the Alphabet Boys are across the street from one of the largest high schools in our city.
And by Alphabet Boys, you mean ICE?
I mean, any number of them, actually. We've seen any configuration of DHS, ICE, the list goes on. So, I'm always clear to say that, because they come in all forms and in all letters.
Enforcement stepped up in Chicago.
So there we go. Again, that's a Chicago Teachers Union boss talking about the Alphabet Boys. Not a big fan of ICE. What are you getting as far as education is concerned if that is who your boss is out there? I don't really get it. Now, here is the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, defending the illegal aliens.
You know as well as I do, the President of the United States in the last 24 hours called for you to be imprisoned. I want to give you an opportunity. We've seen your reaction on social media, but I want to hear what you have to say back to the President of the United States.
Well, let's start with the idea that this is a convicted felon. I mean, think about that, who is threatening to jail me. I got to say, this guy's unhinged. He's insecure. He's a wannabe dictator. And there's one thing I really want to say to Donald Trump. If you come for my people, you come through me. So come and get me.
You know as well.
All righty, there we go. So J.B. Pritzker, defiant. Trump says, "Maybe you know what? He might need to get locked up because you're getting in the way of the feds doing their job to remove the illegal aliens." He's like, you know what? If you want to come for my people, my illegal aliens, you got to come through me. Now, that might be a tall task because J.B. Pritzker is no small man, okay? That might be a task. It's like trying to line up on the A gap and, hit that little seam to run for the touchdown. It might be a bit of a challenge with Big JB getting in the way, okay? But let's show you an example of the kind of people he's harboring in Chicago. Let's show an example so we could just, really see what's happening.
Tonight.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
Tonight, a man from Chicago is accused of running a human trafficking operation out of a spa in Ohio. The federal charges coming down in Marion yesterday. The 53-year-old is accused of moving women from Illinois to Ohio and forcing them into sex work at the Chinese spa on Delaware Avenue. A grand jury returned the indictment after months of investigation.
I thought that the illegal aliens were all Mexican because that's what they say that we say, right? First of all. Second of all, I thought they were just here to pick fruit and make beds and just do regular stuff. That's what I was told. But this guy's a whole human trafficker. And can I say, I'm going to just say this since I'm right here. I'm going to say this. The Mann Act that Puff Daddy was convicted of is properly used in this case because he took these women from one state to another for the purpose of putting them in a massage parlor. That is where the Mann Act should be used. Puff Daddy was not doing that. So hopefully this guy right here from China gets convicted, serves time, and send him right back first thing smoking to Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, wherever you got to go. Taiwan, the South China Sea, it don't matter. Just airdrop like a drone, and sends you right back. We don't have time to be harboring straight up criminals, illegal aliens in this country. We got criminals here in America. We don't need to import more. And that is the heart of the problem with the illegal immigration issue. We are importing criminals, making our way of life more difficult. Very simple. Hey, who's picking the fruits? Not him. He ain't picking no fruit. He picking them young girls that traffic and put in that massage parlor. That's what he's going to pick. He ain't picking no fruit. He ain't picking no cotton. He ain't picking no lima beans, corn beans, soybeans, no beans. I know ain't no corn beans, but just, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, the Lieutenant Governor of Illinois, Julius Stratton, is saying, you know what? If you come get JB, you got to come get me. All right? Listen. Let's take a look. Okay. Yes, she black. She black.
Listen, if Donald Trump thinks that by arresting Governor J.B. Pritzker that this fight is over, he is sorely mistaken because he's going to have to come through me next, and I'm going to pick up right where J.B. left off. Illinois stands united in fighting back against Donald Trump's power grab. Listen, if Donald Trump thinks that by arresting Governor J.B. Pritzker that this fight is over, he is sorely mistaken because he's going to have to come through me next.
So look, I get accused of trying to help the white man by saying, you know what, we got to have these illegal aliens up out of our country. I don't care if they're white, black, Puerto Rican, and candy stripe. If they're here illegally, they got to go, especially if they're criminals. Okay, but I get accused of trying to help the white man for that. This lady's saying she's going to help the white man, J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, as his lieutenant governor, when Trump is trying to remove the illegal aliens and make life harder for all Americans, especially black Americans. So who's the turncoat, who's not? If you're going to say anybody is, I'm just asking the question. I'm not making the statement. I'm asking the question. Y'all let me know what's going on. But yeah, shout out to her. ICE, please do your job. Please keep the party going. Do not let your foot off the gas, pedal to the metal until you can't do it no more, until 2028 or 2032 or forever. Keep the pedal to the metal.
Trump.
Now, speaking about black women, you got the mayor of Chicago saying that Trump is firing black women nationwide. How is Trump firing black women? Mayor Mohawk, a.k.a. Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago. Let me know how he's firing black women.
If he was serious about safety, he would not have defunded a program of $800 million that was geared towards violence prevention. He cut the ATF budget by 30%. He has defunded our education system. He has defunded our transportation system. He is firing black women across this country. He's defunding our healthcare system. This president is absolutely out of control, and it's incumbent upon all of us. If there was ever a time for working people to unite in this country, now is that time. And the city of Chicago is going to stand firm in protecting humanity and protecting and defending our democracy.
All right.
Trump.
Okay, there we go. So again, Mayor Mohawk, Brandon Johnson from Chicago, Illinois. Mr. Mohawk, how is Trump firing black women because of the whole DEI thing? Well, it wasn't just black women. It was a lot of people that probably shouldn't be where they were because of that whole thing. Like I said earlier, a lot of DEI, that's going to be your transgender, non-binary white women and white men. Hey, you know what? I'm a white guy. I'm not really up to snuff with my other counterparts, whether it be black, white, or whatever. So I'm going to become a minority and cheat my way to the top that way. Okay, that's kind of what's going on. There shouldn't be any preferential programs for so-called minorities. And if you're going to say minority, be specific. Do you mean black? Do you mean LGBT? Because it ain't the same thing. Ultimately, I'm all about meritocracy. Can you do the job or not? Are you the best? Are you good or not? That's all I'm all about. I don't care what color you are. You could be a space alien. Hey, Mr. Space Alien, can you do this job? All right, well, go ahead. Hop to it. Let's get it done. We got deadlines to meet. All that trying to fill racial quotas, unwritten quotas. Nobody has any time for that at all. Bit Lebowski says, I'm black today. Shout out to you. You identify as black today? Okay, we got Nancy Pelosi talking about the government shutdown. All right, and then somebody says, Mayor Mohawk has the lowest approval rating of any mayor in U.S. history. 6%. Wow. Really? Is it that low? That's crazy. That is crazy. Who was the host? What was that? Caitlin Collins, I believe. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yeah, Caitlin Collins. Yeah. Or not. That was not her. I don't know who that was with them funny lips. Hey, man, look. Hold on. Can I bring that back up right quick? Now you didn't distract me right quick with that comment. Hold on. Now I gotta bring the host back up.
Trump.
Because y'all in these lips, man, y'all gotta stop. Okay, yeah, her right here. Is that who you were talking about? Is that who you wanted me to find out who it was? Bro, them lips, man. You looking like Bruce Jenner. It don't look natural. You see what I'm saying? Briefly, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get right back to the show. Just bear with me. It's like a BBL when you have this big hind part region on top of stilts. It's like spinning the basketball on your finger. It's like that when you walk in. It don't look right. It look like candy apples. 2 candy apples with the skinniest candy apple stick you ever seen in your life. And then the torso is just kind of regular. And you get to the face region, you got these lips that's like, they kind of like invert. I can't even describe it. It don't look natural. Whatever God gave you, just work with that. Go to the gym. Don't be a big back. Work with that. when you're doing the enhancements, it's not really hitting the mark for me personally. It's not really hitting the mark. But hey, if you like it, bro, I love it. If you like it, okay. Back to the show. But that was on my mind. I had to say it right quick. Nancy Pelosi, government shutdown. Let's go ahead and rock.
Let's not stipulate to that. It's not a fancy
what do they have in it?
going into that. The point is,
they are voting yes on what we say here in Washington, a clean CR.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. I didn't know that was going to happen. All right. So that's the AI. I got caught. They got me. Okay. That's one video they got me on within the past, I don't know how many years. So we're going to just disregard that. We didn't even see that. Hey, there AI videos. Right quick. I'm seeing so many AI videos all over the internet. And some of them have they have the what's the name on it? They have the watermark. Sora. That's a big one happening right now. These videos are going viral all over the place. But when you watch it, at a certain point, you got to kind of look and see if it makes sense. And most of the videos I show you, with exceptions, I'm going to double check and make sure. I'm going to check sources and see where it came from to get down to the bottom of it. And a lot of times I go to the first source to get it from there and then upload it rather than getting it from a third party. So yeah, shout out to that one. But let's keep on moving here. This is going to be a real video, no AI. And I don't like showing AI videos because it's like I might as well just play a video game. But this ain't that. I could do that on a separate channel. Okay, this is going to be Hakeem Jeffries. And who is this? Mike Lawler. Hakeem Jeffries and Mike Lawler. Hakeem Jeffries, of course, right here. Timo Obama from the left. Mike Lawler from the right. And there is a little bit of a tiff between them because of the whole government shutdown.
Did you get permission from your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss, Donald Trump?
You can easily extend
the
ACA
Did your
right
boss,
now.
Donald Trump,
He's
give
not
you
my
permission?
boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
so let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to
Let me
shut
ask
the
you a
government
question.
down? Why did you vote to shut it down?
Let me ask you a question.
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to
no,
make
it's
yourself
sad.
relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to
You're
this.
embarrassing
You
yourself
could
right
sign
now.
on to this. The only
You're
embarrassment
chasing
here is
clout.
you.
You're an embarrassment.
You could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here.
Let me ask you a
Why won't you
question.
sign on
Let me ask
to
you a
it?
question.
It's a clean extension for 1 year.
You voted for the one big
Clean
ugly bill,
extension.
correct?
I voted for a
The
tax
largest-
cut bill that gave the
the
largest
largest
tax
cut-
cut
the
to
largest-
Americans in history,
the
including, by
largest-
the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing
Do you
yourself
want
right
to
now.
cut the standard deduction in
The
half? Is that
largest
what you
cut
wanted
to
to do?
Medicaid in
No, we
American
rooted
history.
out
You
waste,
voted for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the
You
way.
voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
controller of New York,
Let me ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2
If
billion
you're gonna-
were wasted.
Listen, you're not going to talk. You're not going to talk to
wasted
me. You're not going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't
getting
want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm listening.
So why
Go
don't you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you
is
showed
that,
up.
Is that the way to
Hakeem Jeffries, listen, you kind of doing like this. This is kind of like dog and pony. Really, you're not Mr. Tough Guy. You're in front of a lot of people. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. All this pointing, like touching chest. You're not gonna really do that in a regular setting. If it's me and you got all that going on, I'm gonna be very frank with you and tell you to not do that anymore. And if we gonna have some kind of scuffle, then let's go ahead and scuffle. But all of that, you're just showboating. And ultimately, you're not gonna get anything accomplished. You guys are weak. You guys are soft. You don't have anybody. And ultimately, you guys are gonna lose. So this little show right here, it does nothing. You don't boost your profile. You're not looking more like Obama. You're looking more like Cory Booker. So yeah, shout out Hakeem Jeffries and Mike Lawler. What's your take on that? Dog and Pony Show, Nothing Burger, or is it something else? I'm going to tell you what's not Dog and Pony. We got President Trump at a roundtable discussion. And then Marco Rubio comes up to him and tells him something right quick. Now, since I'm right here, shout out Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio's great. I like Marco a lot. He has grown so much, improved so much When we first saw Marco on a big stage, he gave the response at a State of the Union address back in 2013, I believe, or right around then. And he had to get the little ball of water. Remember that? He has come a long way since then. He is become an indispensable part of the administration. So let's watch some of this, shall we?
Criminal conspiracy.
Okay. I'm just given. Yeah, I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly. So I will take a couple of more questions.
Criminal conspiracy.
So there we go. So Marco said, hey, we got a deal. Here go the note. We got a deal. Wrap this up. Make the deal happen. Now, do you guys think that the deal in Gaza will stick? It can happen, but will it stick? Y'all let me know what you think. And again, shout out to Marco for making everything. Hey, Marco doing everything. Marco out here doing the campaign flyers, making deals in the Middle East. He got everything going on. When Elon Musk come with little X, he babysitting, piggyback rides and everything else. He doing the most. So shout out to Marco Rubio for being one of the hardest working guys in politics right now. Mike A says, little Marco has become medium Rubio. I like that. Okay. Joseph says, Marco is 6'10" inside. Sincerely AOC. Hilarious. That's a good one. That is a good one. All right. And let's keep going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. So the White House says that Antifa, all these groups are funded, which we already knew. All right, let's check it out.
That this is not just a story about violence and chaos, as you alluded to, Mr. President. This is a money story. And at the Government Accountability Institute, my colleague and I, Peter Schweitzer and our team, we followed the money, and we followed it to the top of what we call the protest industrial complex.
The protest industrial complex. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Before we continue, how much cash do you think is in the protest industrial complex? Give me a ballpark.
Riot Inc. And we found a network of NGOs. It's not just the Soros network, the Open Society network. It's other funding networks, the Arabella funding network, the Tides funding network, Neville Roy Singham and his network, Foreign Cash. And it's also big left-wing funders. Some of them are not citizens of this country. Mr. Hans-Jörg Wyss of Switzerland. They're pouring money into this entire ecosystem. And so I want to share 3 money facts with you about what we call Riot Inc. Number one, like any corporation, Riot Inc. has many divisions. It doesn't just have the Antifa boots on the ground division. It has PR divisions. It has marketing divisions. It has a very well-funded legal division to get these boots on the ground back on the streets as quickly as possible. But it does have those investors that I mentioned. Number two, we have identified dozens of radical organizations, not just the decentralized Antifa organizations, but dozens of radical organizations that have received more than $100 million from the Riot Inc. investors. These would be the lawyer groups. These would be
how much?
Organizations, not just the decentralized Antifa organizations, but dozens of radical organizations that have received more than $100 million from the Riot Inc. investors. These would be the lawyer groups. These would be the groups that advocate for calling good, honest Americans fascists, etc. And then 3, I think the most shocking thing is that we have found that more than $100 million in U.S. taxpayer funding has flowed into these funding networks, including at least $4 million to these very groups themselves, not just Antifa types, but there was an event in Atlanta called Stop Cop City. Over 60 rioters were charged with domestic terrorism. These groups received money for that.
And they were there for a long time. The Stop Cops, like the Stop Cop City, because I'm down here, and they were out there for a long time. So everyone knew that it was funded, because you can't just be out there in Atlanta with no money. You have to have some kind of funding some way. So yeah. And then it was such a random thing. It's like what the Cop City was. It was a training facility they were building for police officers, and there was a bunch of these people out here firebombing stuff. I mean, they were a nuisance. Of course, they were getting paid, and if you're paying people to go out there and commit acts of violence, that's got to be a criminal action.
from both the billionaire class as well as taxpayer money. So one other thing, this money helps fund the decentralized crowdfunding platforms. These are ways that Antifa, the John Brown Gun Club of Elm Fork, which had links to that attack on the ICE facility, the Socialist Rifle Association, and just because they don't have LLCs or EIN numbers doesn't mean they can't get paid. Some of these funding platforms, crowdfunding platforms, are funded by this network that we call Riot Inc. So, again, I want to thank you for your leadership, for the whole cabinet's leadership on this. We're going to keep following the money and appreciate everything you're doing, sir.
Do you know the name of any of the funders? Do you know the name?
Hey, now we're talking, Trump. Do you know the name of any of the funders? Do you know their names? Let's name them and shame them.
Because if you do, I'd like you to give them to Cash or Pam.
Absolutely.
Or Christy.
Yeah, we'll do that.
As soon as you can. That's all of you.
Okay, they ain't going to say it right now, though. All right, but let's get them eventually.
Because you probably know the names after a certain period of time. You tend to find out. But these are people that do not have good intention for the country, and that's treasonous probably. So if you could, very important, if you could do that, it would be great. Nobody would know better than you. You'll figure it out.
So, yeah, I mean, we think we know some George Soros, but there's many. George Soros is like the boogeyman, but there's so many more people than him who have money, who have the purpose of trying to destroy our country. There's quite a few of them who exist. You know, it's not just a one-way thing. All right, here's something from Tucker. Guess how many of the births in Texas, percentage-wise, are Medicaid? Meaning, okay, this is being paid for by Medicaid, by you, the taxpayer. Remember, before I ain't even going to say what I was going to say, but give me an estimate, percentage-wise. How many of the births in Texas are Medicaid births? Percentage-wise.
58.
Okay. Let's put it on the screen.
58% of the births in Texas are Medicaid births.
58%?
58%. So think about this a second, Tucker. 20 years ago, Medicaid was 3% of the Texas budget. Now it's the number 2 driver of the budget. And it's due in large part to illegal immigration. People come across the border, have their babies. Sometimes they go back, sometimes they don't. We are destroying our children and grandchildren's ability to have any kind of future whatsoever. We're drilling holes in the bottom of the lifeboat. 58% of the births in Texas are Medicaid births.
How can that be sustained? And we know that these are going to be the illegal aliens. When people say, oh, the migrants give so much to us, they do some, we spent, like I was going to say from the beginning, they had this study in 2023, 2024. Every year we were spending $450 billion. Would it be 450 billion U.S. American cold hard cash dollars on the migrants from a variety of things? And I'm sure that all these Medicaid births count as well because somebody got to pay for it. It's so weird when people say you want to have socialism, communism, like everything is going to be free. Everything cannot be free. Matter of fact, hold on. I got to show Killer Mike. You guys might know who that is. Because Killer Mike was on Shannon Sharp's show talking about what he would do if he was to become president. Okay. And what programs he would put out. Let me show that right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Get a video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, everything, you can't just say, all right, we're going to just do this, this, and this. How are you going to pay for it? How will you pay for it? Is the question. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
President, what you gonna do? Create a reparations plan. that's going to get African Americans proper education in trades and intellectual education. It's going to get African Americans proper financial education. It's going to give them land grants and the ability to own the land that their ancestors owned, particularly in the Southeast. 54% of African Americans live in the Southeast. I think that 54% of the investment should be there. I think that there should be a heavy investment in terms of making sure that that class of people is brought up, because
I'm going to pause for the, when
the African American economy and the community is doing better, this whole country does better. I would make a pathway toward legal citizenship easier. I would create bilingual classes very early so that we can communicate to one another.
Killer Mike, you were a tad bit out of touch with the whole bilingual. In a lot of these schools, it's several languages being spoken. It ain't just black and brown no more. Mandarin, Chinese, Hindu, all kind of just random stuff, man. Arabic.
I would return trades to high schools on the federal level. I would support that. I would guarantee trades programs in high schools. I also would guarantee minority businesses, construction, like the Ali Construction Company down in Georgia, that they can get more federal grants. These are the construction company I'm telling you about there are the ones who build all the furniture in the Delta VIP lounges, black company. I would make sure that we have a vested interest. I would make sure that public school returns to the greatness of what public schools was in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, meaning physical education is important, artistic and music education is important, and your reading, writing, and arithmetic is important. I try to say, why were we so effective in public education, even all through college in the 50s and 60s, and where did we peel off from? I would take debt out of college. I would forgive all college debt. I would make state schools more open to state kids again.
So no college debt. So college is going to be free. You're gonna give out reparations and free college and free. My question would be, Killer Mike, where is the money coming from? You sound like Bernie Sanders, Santa Claus. And I think about a Bernie Sanders that you guys don't ever actually produce anything. You guys just talk about what you would like, about what it'd be nice. It's like a kid reading a wish list, sending Santa Claus a letter. Santa Claus, can I please get a bike for Christmas? Santa Claus, can I please get the new PlayStation for Christmas? That's what you sound like. It's not really realistic. Now, one thing I do agree with him on is bringing PE back to school in the real way. Like, I would be doing Marine cadence, push-ups. I would be doing like real education, real physical activity that way. But beyond that, I don't really have much for you, Killer Mike. I don't really have much for you at all. Okay. And what you do when you make all these promises and give all these gimmies, you get people hooked on it and they don't know how to really get off it. All they ever know is how to just take from the government rather than producing. And we're dealing with that right now in large parts of the country. People, some of us, not all, I know we got some hardworking men and women in this chat. Shout out to you guys. But there's a bunch of other Americans, some of you guys as neighbors, who don't want to work or don't want to do anything because they've been accustomed to having the government provide for them. Why would I want to go out there and work hard? Why would I want to go out there and strive to learn a new skill, to become better, to improve, when I'm comfortable just being fat and lazy on my hind parts, having the government do everything for me? A society based on that can't function. And this young lady right here is kind of in that box.
So I don't know what I'm going to do now. I came down to the store because I thought my food stamps were supposed to be loading, and there's nothing on there. So I reached out to the office, and there's a recording that says, due to the government shutdown, all benefits are placed on hold and no money will be loading. So I had a cart full of stuff because I just assumed it was going to be on there like it always is. And I'm not 100% sure. So then I called over to the housing office about the rent check, and they told me the same thing. It says, due to government shutdown, all funding has been stopped. Rent payment, please reach out to your landlord as rent payments will not be funded for at least the month of October. Anyone else having this problem? Let me know in the comments because I'm not really sure what to do now.
See, when you rely upon the government, when you depend upon them, they can change rules at any time and you just left scrambling. What I would tell everyone is don't rely on the government. Don't rely on anyone who you really can't count on. You got to do things for yourself. Have a way to be able to fend for yourself. If you're dependent upon the government to fend for you, it might be good for a while. It might be okay for a while, but then when it's not good, what you going to do? What's your next course of action? And too often people don't have any next courses of action because they've been accustomed to just doing things one kind of way. And that's just how that is. Okay, that's just what it is. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, Hasanabi. If you guys don't know him, let me show a picture so you guys can understand what I'm talking about because y'all might, I'm not really sure how old everybody is or what you guys watch. If you guys are watching people like this. Okay. Let me show his uncle, Cenk Uygur. Him and his uncle. Okay. So there we go. Perfect. Perfect little screenshot situation right there. Okay. So this is Hasanabi, a very popular communist streamer. Very, very popular, very successful. And that's his uncle right there, of course. Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. He got a Young Turk shirt on, TYT, 20 years, etc. So again, Cenk is Hasan's uncle. Okay, we on the same page? Now, this is his son on the stream recently. He got in some hot water because he was apparently shocking his dog to stay in that same place right there. Watch this.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby. It's just, you're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
So look, people are mad about that because here's what I think happened. The dog is supposed to sit right there in the corner, right over his shoulder, to be a prop on the stream. So when people are watching them, they're able to see all this stuff in the background. The neon sign, the posters on the wall, a book with his name on it, the typical self-absorbed stuff, the chat, a picture of the dog right there, and then the dog sitting in the corner. He's streaming for hours, though. He streamed for 4 or 5 hours at a time, and the dog sits right there. So when the dog started moving, he apparently hit a button on a shot collar to get him to sit back down. That's why he whimpered. I mean, that's terrible, man. Like, listen, if the dog wants to pop in the stream and say what's up to the people, that's fine. But to shock him to sit in the same spot for hours, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And the craziest part is Hasan has said some really crazy things. I don't watch him. I don't watch any streamers at all. But he said some crazy. I've seen some things on little clips on social media. Charlie deserved it. Delete conservatives. He said some crazy things. But this right here might be what gets him in trouble because people don't play about their dogs. Abusing the dog for what reason? So yeah, is he in the cubicle? No, probably in his bedroom somewhere or something like that. What do y'all think? A big deal, not a big deal? What's the consensus on Hasan and his dog zapping him to stay in that same spot? My thing is, if you're gonna do the whole shot collar therapy, let it be about something that, like a real thing to train them on, but not just to be a prop in the video. Like, what's that all about? Okay, like that's not really where it's at. Okay. And then hold on.
Coverage.
Is there more here? Let me see. He might say something about it right here. Hold on.
Back to the news coverage for now. As I was saying, while I'm waiting for, oh God, I'm going to actually let Kai out because I can't fucking stand her being in the background and like, and wanting attention as well. Okay. Up. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. Go. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so annoyed with everything. Back to the news.
All right, there we go. My question is, who's going to watch him? Like, why would you watch Hasan? He does not appear to be a very happy person, not very entertaining. He sounds like a 13-year-old white girl. That's not very entertaining for me to watch as a man. If it's 2001 and I'm in high school and I'm a young lady, okay, maybe him, but a 15-year-old girl would make sense to watch if I'm that age. But to be an adult male watching him, why? Has the American man become so soft to where Hasan is seen as a cool guy? I don't know. Maybe I'm just old and I'm hating. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking about white women, Katie Porter. Oh my goodness. Katie Porter. For my California people, do you know her? Have you seen her before? Have you seen her in politics on television before? This was crazy. I've never seen this. This right here is someone who is not developed. I think we have a lot of people who have arrested development. You're 45 years old, but mentally you're 15 years old. And I think as you age, with age should come wisdom. With age should come growth. If you have not grown at all, I ain't talking about physically because clearly she didn't grow physically. That big bulldagger be eating everything she's grown physically, but not mentally. And that is a disease plaguing a lot of Americans. We saw it with Hasan, and now we're seeing it with Katie Porter. Okay. Now she, from what I was able to read, is the leading candidate to replace Gavin Newsom in 2020, whenever. I guess is it this year, 25, 26? Whenever it is. She's the leading candidate to replace Gavin Newsom. Let's watch some of this so you can see what I'm talking about if you've not seen my video today, especially.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. Mm-hmm. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't think
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
See, like, what is that all about? That person has an anger issue, a mental issue, arrested development. They should not be in a leadership role at all. And they most certainly shouldn't become the governor of California. But hey, man, it's California. So what you going to expect, right? Unfortunately.
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy.
Now, let's pause. She is a woman. She was married to a man, and she does have children. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. That is a woman. I know, listen, I know the bull dagger energy is real. It's super real. But she is a woman.
Need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make...
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience.
Well, Ms. Porter, too late. I'm watching it right now. The whole world has seen it. It is on camera. So it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Now, there's more examples of her doing stuff like this. I read the article in my video where when she was married, her husband said that, well, quite a few things. Matter of fact, I'm going to show some of that. I'm going to show what her husband said. But first, I got some other videos I've not shown yet. Okay, here's a good one. Hold on. Well, not a good one, but it'll kind of explain what's happening with her. Now, one of her staff got in her shot during an interview, like in the background, and she did not like that too much. So, hey, it's gonna be a few F-bombs that drop, so be ready for it.
State could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. State could lose.
Why? You got to talk to your staff like that. Why cuss at your staff? Get out of my effing shot. Why? Just why? You could be a lot more polite. You could be more, if you got a problem and really have, I don't know, bad leadership. From the beginning, you should say, okay, I'm about to be on there. Everybody got to stay clear. If they come into the shot, you're not going to just trip. Get out of my effing shot. It's ma'am. It's okay. If you got some kind of grievance, address it off the air. Don't just snap at your staff like that. That's not the way to talk to them. Okay, really, that could be considered workplace harassment, for real. Okay, but I have more. I got one more video to show you. Now, this is, the caption says that she thinks Joe Biden's inflation is a good thing because you could get more babies deleted, more abortion, I suppose. And we see the face. Listen, the tight lips, the eyes bucked all the way open. If I saw her in the alley, I'm crossing. Listen, if I saw her, not in the alley, if I saw her walking down the street on the sidewalk toward me, I'm going the other way. I don't want no smoke.
President Biden has said that inflation is the #1 priority for the Biden White House to try to get under control right now. As you're out there in California talking to constituents during this re-election year for Congress, how does inflation compare to this newly important, in the sense of the Supreme Court decision pending, abortion issue? How do those two issues compare?
Well, I don't think they compare. I think they actually reinforce each other. So the fact that things like inflation can happen and it can become more expensive to feed your kids and to fuel your car, is exactly why people need to be able to be in charge of how many mouths they're going to have to feed. So I think the fact that we're seeing this jump in expenses, that we're seeing people having to pay more in the grocery store, pay more at the pump, pay more for housing, is a reason that people are saying, I need to be able to make my own decisions about when and if to start a family. So I don't think we're going to see them. I don't think it's about comparing them or contrasting them. I think they reinforce for people just how big of a responsibility it is to take care of a family.
So basically, you know what? Let's go ahead and delete babies, because the best way to choose if you want to have kids or not is, don't do the things that bring kids into the world. Okay, we all know, we all adults, we know how the birds and the bees and the sort we know how it happens. So just don't do that and magically ain't gonna be no kids. She's talking about being able to delete your kids. That's going to be her solution to the whole issue. Okay, so that's kind of who we're dealing with. Now, I found an article right here that I was showing in my video earlier. This is from 2023. At this time, she was a House rep in California, a DC House rep in California. She was a rep from 19 to 25, I believe. And now she's trying to become the governor. You see? So look, Katie Porter scalded ex-husband Scott with potatoes. Now look, I'm going to read some of this. The former husband of Representative Katie Porter said the California Democrat frequently abused him verbally and through toys, books, and other objects at him during their marriage, even pouring scalding hot mashed potatoes on his head during a fight. Matthew Hoffman, who filed for divorce in 2013, said in the request for a restraining order dated April 30th of 2013 that he was routinely called an effing idiot and an effing incompetent by his rage-prone spouse. Now, didn't we just see the rage in at least one video with the CBS California lady, and then again with the staffer? Didn't we see that? And this is not a 2013 video that we saw. This was just recently, just like the other day. So we see the character presenting itself from her husband in the official court documents and on video with random interviewers. Her staff, the interviewer, the husband, everybody. Let's continue. And she also shattered a glass coffee pot on the kitchen counter in 2012 when she felt like the house wasn't clean enough. Clean this house. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Psh. That's what happened. She would not let me have a cell phone because she said, you're too effing dumb to operate it. When she gets angry, she will claw and scratch her arms and say, look at what you made me do. She regularly says, I am a bad parent in front of the kids. Recently, the kids started spitting at me and throwing food at me and calling me bad daddy. So you see the face right there. You already know what time it is. Look at that face. That's one of the mob bosses' face. I'll bury you. You know who you're talking to? You know who you're talking to? I'll put you in the ground. I'll put you on cement shoes. I'll bury you, huh? That's that look right there. That look would be what you get from Joe Pesci before you get put in the desert somewhere in Casino. You understand what I'm saying? That's that look right there. When the dude in Casino had his cowboy boots with mud on them on a table, that's the look that he got from Joe Pesci. Okay? So that could become your next governor of California. Do you want her? I know I wouldn't want her. Okay. What was that movie? Kathy Bates. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hold on. And for the young people, y'all might not know what I'm talking about. Okay, but I already know. Yeah, this right here. Hold on. If you ever seen this movie, then you know what I'm talking about. And matter of fact, before I show this, y'all already know what it's going to be. Before I show this, if you're my age, you already know what it's going to be. See, that's who I see when I see Katie Porter. I see that right there. Okay. And if you've seen the movie, was it Misery? If you've seen Misery, you know. If you have not seen Misery, gotta watch it. Check it out. for the young guys and girls out there so you understand the context of what's happening right here. Is it also a good book? I had no idea it was a book. Look at me learning something new every day. Let me see if I can find that scene right quick from Misery with Kathy Bates. Just to give some context into what's happening. All right, hold on. Yeah, let's do it this way.
When I was growing up in Bakersfield, my favorite thing in all the world was to go to the movies on Saturday afternoons for the chapter play.
Not that one. Let's play this. Here we go.
I know you've been out.
What?
You've been out of your room.
No, I haven't.
Paul, my little ceramic penguin in the study always faces due south.
I don't know what you're talking about. Ceramic penguin.
Is this what you're looking for? I know you've been out twice, Paul. First, I couldn't figure out how you did it. But last night, I found your key. I know I left my scrapbook out. I can imagine what you might be thinking of me. But you see, Paul, it's all okay. Last night, it came so clear. I realize you just need more time.
I ain't gonna play the whole thing because, copyrights and movies and whatnot, but you get the idea. My man's tied up in the bed. She got a knife. And it was pretty gruesome. Like, you got to watch the movie so you can kind of see what's going on. But it's going to be too tough. It's going to be too much for YouTube to be able to handle right there. But when you see it, you're going to make the connection between her and what we just saw with Katie Porter. It's like her fairy godmother, basically. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Did I get everything I wanted to get to? I think I did get everything I wanted to get to. Hold on. I might have that's pretty much everything I wanted to get to. We got a few super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to some calls. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And super chats, let me read these right quick. Thank you to Apple Bucker All Puff Daddy, who says, what are your opinions of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker? Does the community support them or President Trump? Well, the community, I don't know. Most of the community don't know nothing. That's part of my effort, is to just be educational so we can learn something and understand what's going on, because people in the community often will just support them with not having any information. And then when I ask them why, they're not going to have anything for me, because they never had anything for me. It was always just a thing people did just because. But for me, my opinion, they're both terrible. They're both trash. They got to go. Okay, they got to go. One thing I am seeing is more of the community starting to realize that little by little. Now, the majority is still going to feel the way they feel, but as long as you can get some people, listen, like I said before, I have a life raft. I have a life boat. But if you don't want to get on the boat, then I can't do nothing for you. I see a super chat right here I got to read right quick. And thank you for that, because I was looking for that, actually. I was thinking about, I thought I missed something, and that was it. So Michael Critchlow says, so we're not talking about the Virginia Attorney General candidate Jay Jones wishing death on his political opponents and their children, fantasizing about urinating on their graves via leaked text messages. And I got the same question in my stream last night from Miss Fine Vine. Shout out to you if you're watching Miss Fine Vine. But let me find that right quick, since I'm right here at my station. Okay, that's going to be Jay Jones. And the dude, Jay Jones, I know him from somewhere. I've seen him before.
Breaking news from the camp.
All right, let's watch this, see if they got it. They better have it. Now, Jay Jones, what is he trying to do? He's trying to become, let me see. He's trying to become the Attorney General in Virginia.
Breaking news from the campaign trail. Jay Jones, the Democratic nominee.
Turn this off right quick. Pardon me.
Breaking news from the campaign trail. Jay Jones, the Democratic nominee for Virginia Attorney General, is accused of sending a former legislative colleague text suggesting he would like to shoot the Speaker of the House of Delegates. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm Janine Samuels.
And I'm Bill Fitzgerald. This series of texts was first reported by the National Review. Jones, a former delegate, reportedly sent Delegate Kerry Coyner texts about hypothetically shooting Speaker Todd Gilbert back in 2022. And wishing violence upon his children. Delegate Coyner has confirmed Jones sent her a number of texts, several of which read, from Jones, 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time.
This is the Democratic candidate for Speaker of the House in Virginia. Is he the candidate or is he running? Yeah, he's a candidate. He's a nominee. He is the Democratic Party's nominee in Virginia to become their Attorney General.
Coyner says, Jay, please stop. And Jones replies, LOL, okay, okay.
Coyner sent us a statement that says on August 8th, 2022, I had a text conversation with Jay Jones. What he said was not just disturbing, but disqualifying for anyone who wants to seek public office. Jay Jones wished violence on the children of a colleague and joked about shooting Todd Gilbert. It's disgusting and unbecoming of any public official.
We reached out to the Jones campaign. They sent us a statement that reads, like all people, I've sent text messages that I regret, and I believe that violent rhetoric has no place in our politics. Let's be clear, he continues, about what is happening in the Attorney General race right now. Jason Miyares is dropping smears through Trump-controlled media organizations to assault my character and rescue his desperate campaign. This is a strategy that ensures Jason Miyares will continue to be accountable to Donald Trump, not to the people of Virginia. This race is about whether Trump can control Virginia or Virginians control Virginia.
Jay Jones, really? Is that what we're going to do? Come on now. Come now. You got caught saying something crazy, and your reaction is Orange Man bad? Come on.
Candidate Jones was supposed to appear on the 7:30 news tonight for a one-on-one conversation with me. His campaign chief canceled that interview this morning. Separately, Jones also addressed his reckless driving conviction that same year for going 116 miles per hour on I-64 in New Kent. You can find
116 on 64, 116 on 64. Bro, you cannot do that. And 64 is slow. That's like 55, 60 on that speed limit. It's slow in 64. 116, were you drinking? What? This is what I'm talking about. It don't have anybody on the left. Hold on. As a matter of fact, I found some more text. Okay, I found some more. This is New York Times. Okay. So let's read some of this right here. Okay, so Ms. Uygur pushed back on Mr. Jones' remarks at several points in their exchange in the text, saying it bothered her when he talked about wishing harm or death on others. According to Ms. Uygur's spokesman, the two then spoke over the phone, and Mr. Jones discussed hypothetical death of Mr. Gilbert's children. In the text that followed the call, Mr. Jones appeared to stand by those remarks, even in Ms. Uygur's voice alarm. We're talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die, Ms. Uygur wrote in one message, referring to Mr. Gilbert's wife, misspelling the word hoping. Yes, I told you this before, Mr. Jones replied. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. In a later message, he added, I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. There go that word, fascist. There go that word right there. See? Democrats, you have nothing. Democrats, you're not on the right side of history. You're just not. Hey, I got to do a full video about that to really just kind of dig in and expose what's happening right there. My, oh my. And you know what's funny? He probably would still win. We'll see. Remember that lady that had the OnlyFans or something like that in Virginia? Did she win or not? Remember that? Y'all remember that lady that had the OnlyFans in Virginia who was running for office? Did she win or nah? Y'all let me know what's going on. Okay. And somebody said it. Kathy Bates is most certainly better looking. Kathy Bates was actually pretty attractive. She was just kind of a little bit heavy. But Miss Bulldagger is pure. Like, Kathy Bates is like a honeybee. Katie Porter is like an Africanized wasp. Just the honeybee's nice and dainty and kind of just a little scary because it's a little bit. But them wasps, they're only there to kill you, and that's it. No honey, no pollination, just death. Anyway, more super chats. Thank you to Apu again, who says FBI Director Kash Patel says there are 110,000 gang members in Chicago. Thoughts? How can this issue be confronted? I think you need the military. I mean, first of all, you got to actually prosecute people that commit crime. A lot of these gang members are repeat offenders. They do the same thing over and over again, and nothing ever happens. So, yeah, you need actual prosecution to happen. Thank you to Mauricio91, who says George Washington was the last real president. Excuse me. Thank you to Mauricio again, who says the clankers are the new emo kids. Thank you to Jadism, who says ABL. Tell me Katie Porter doesn't look like Mama Fratelli from the Goonies. Hey, I don't even remember the characters from that, how they really look for real. Hold on, now I gotta look. All right, see, now I gotta put it up. You guys are bad, man. You guys are terrible. Like, hey man, look, I didn't do that. That's one of y'all that said that. I'm just the messenger. So don't shoot me. All right, let's keep on going here. Thank you to Joseph Crow, who says, I hate music. I love running into politics. Okay. Thank you to Mauricio, who says, liberals have zero respect for life. They don't. And thank you to the Whites man, who says, you sent 5 ABL memberships. Thank you for that, boss. I appreciate you. All right, it's time for some calls. The number to call is 706-406. There it is, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number will always be in the description and also on a ticker below me. You can check me out there. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Again, 706-406-3287. We are taking calls right now. Yeah, but that was a pretty on-point comparison with the Mama Fratelli from the Goonies. Hey, man, at the end of the day, she just is scary to me. Pure scary, pure evil. I would not want to come across her just in the streets. So I feel like it's going to be a bad day for me. All right? I don't want no smoke at all whatsoever. All right. But shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for, it says spitting image. Yeah, pretty much. That's who that is. Yeah, I mean, the main thing is not really about her being attractive or whatever, in my opinion. The main thing is she's scary. Somebody that I don't want to, and that could be your governor of California. Hopefully, Chad Bianco wins. Chad Bianco, conservative guy. I think he's a sheriff out there in California. Chad Bianco is who I'm rooting for. But it's California, so that might be kind of a stretch. It might be difficult to actually make that happen. All right, let me read some of the comments. And again, the number to call, 706-406-3287. In the meantime, I'll read some of the comments to catch up on anything I may have missed. Hey, Bob. Hey, Kathy. Shout out Kathy Bates. Shout out to Kathy Bates, though. She. When you go back and look at movies that you saw when you were young as an adult, your perspective changes. It really does. 202. You don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, it's your favorite president, right? ABL. How are you? You doing well?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I just had to call in. I said, it's been a while since I last called in, and I just wanted to see how you're doing because you've got a lot of crazy things that have happened since I've last called in.
Oh, there's been quite a bit going on. I know you guys in DC you guys are slam packed in DC.
very busy, very, very busy, by the way. You've got all these things that we have to do. We've got all the problems in Portland and Chicago and all these crazy Democrats that don't want to get anything done. They shut down the government because they want to spend so much money on illegal aliens. They want to destroy your cities. They want to destroy your towns. It's not okay. We can't let this happen in our country. We can't let it happen. We can't let it happen, right?
You're 100% right about that. Absolutely right.
But, here's the thing. You've got all these crazies like Pritzker and, Johnson. Mayor Johnson, by the way, he doesn't know a damn thing about Chicago. He doesn't know because I've talked to many different people that they go all over. They go all over, actually, the world. There's a guy named Nick Shirley, and he was at the round table today. But, we had a nice conversation right after. We had a nice conversation because, I watch his stuff a lot. And I'll tell you, it's so crazy because you get all these crazy people. I mean, these are nuts. These are people that have no idea what's going on. They'll stand out there and they'll throw rocks at ICE agents that just want to do the damn job. You have to let them. But no, you have to do something about it. You can't let these people these are terrorists that are out there, Antifa. And we're going to actually do a lot of other things in the next week that are going to be very helpful to that, helpful to finding these criminals, locking them up, and making sure we bring peace back to our cities. We have to do it. We have to do it.
You got to do it. And, there's people that are in the way. A lot of like you said, your Brandon Johnson and JB Pritzker, they're in the way. But ultimately, they're not going to be able to stop it. It has to happen for the betterment and the safety of our country.
Right. And, you've got a lot of problems in New Orleans, too. I mean, so many different cities, but those we can handle, I think, a lot quicker because you've got some nice people that want to get things done. But you also have, the problem with these crazy people. Do they know what they protest? They don't know what they protest. There's so many different things. And when I say that, I don't mean they don't know, but they have so many different things that they're protesting about. It makes no sense why they're doing it. It really doesn't, because you've got people that are protesting for Gaza, which, by the way, we're getting a wonderful deal done with that. We're on the first phase, and we're going to hopefully see it all come to a close, because that's a 3,000-year conflict that needs to close. It needs to close. It's been too long. There's been too much chaos, and you can't let it happen anywhere in the world. So that's going to close. We're still talking to Vladimir on the phone every once in a while. He's a tough guy. He's a tough cookie, but you have to talk to him. And I've talked to him actually a couple of times about, ending it. And he's been pissing me off. But that's okay. We'll come to something. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, y'all figure it out pretty soon, for sure.
It's true. It needs to happen. Too many people are dying. You've got people every day that are dying, and it's so bad because they don't need to. They're wiping out a whole generation of people in Ukraine. That's what they're doing. You can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. But you know what? We're going to do something so great. And I just wanted to call you because, you do a fantastic job. And I just wanted to tell you, ABL, you're doing a fantastic job. You get all these ratings. You've got ratings that are better than really anybody. Stephen Colbert, you've got better ratings than Kimmel. That I can tell you. And it's really good. It's really nice to see, though.
Well, thank you for the call, Mr. President. I definitely appreciate you.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I tell everybody where to go to find me?
Go for it.
All right. So if you want to find me, you can go follow me on the TikTok at Trump Quest, everybody. And I like to see when people go over there and they join me, because I do a live stream on TikTok too. I talk to everybody. I answer their questions. It's really incredible what I do. But no, we got a lot of people that are on TikTok. So TikTok, find me on TikTok. And then if you want, you can order a message on my Cameo. That would help me a lot. That would, really help me get out there to so many people. And, I would love to do it. I would love to do it. A personal message for everybody. It would be great. You can get a nice Halloween message, a Christmas message, a message for a crazy liberal. I would love to do it. All right. But I appreciate you, ABL. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to President Trump for the call. You guys follow him on the TikTok at Trump Quest. Trump Quest on the TikToks. 403 to learn who am I speaking to?
You're talking to Joseph in Calgary. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, couldn't be happier to be talking to you. Listen, I wanted to tell you a quick story about speeding, and then I have a question to ask you. I was coming back from Seattle one time, keep a long story short, in a rental car, and we were doing 110. 100, 110. That's 100 kilometers an hour. But I hadn't reset the speedometer from the United States miles per hour to kilometers per hour. So I'm screaming down the highway in Canada. What I'm thinking I'm doing is 110. I'm actually doing almost 180. They put a roadblock in front of me to stop me. And so, I mean, speeding can happen. So just, the cops were great. It was fine. But just, be aware of that. But what I want to ask you for real is there a way out of the conundrum that we find ourselves politically and societally? Is there an exit ramp here where we can, with all the left-wing violence, with all the rhetoric, if I use that in the quotation marks, is there some way off, ABL? Because you're a reasonable person, and I trust you, and I listen to you, and that's why. Is there a way out of this? It looks like we're off the cliff into catastrophe. People getting shot, people getting killed. Everybody says, "Oh, this guy's doing that thing. This guy's doing the other thing." If they blame the arson, not the arson, but the fire on the judge's house. Immediately they snap to, "Oh, it was a right-wing thing," and everyone wants to blame everybody for every little thing. Like, is there any way that we can just chill out?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. The battle between, it's not really about left-right at this point. It's about good-evil. And the battle
I
between,
believe that, for sure.
You believe that. So the battle between good and evil is eternal. So all that we can do is just fight the good fight and be on the right side and try to get more on our side than they have on their side, because you will never be able to just not have that battle unless you reach heaven or something like this. But on earth, there's always going to be good and evil. So your goal and my goal and all of our goals should be to live our lives the best way and to get others to do the same thing that we're doing. That's all we can really do.
So community outreach, you think that's the best way? Grassroots, ground level. We just talk to the people around us, go to church, say to the next person beside you, on your neighbor, say, "Hey, hello, how you doing?"
I mean, that's a great way to go about it. I mean, of course, that's one way. What I do is one way. Some other bigger people than me have their own platform. They have their own way. However you do it, you got to try to do it, because that's going to be the only way that works. Because, again, the battle between good and evil is eternal. It ain't never going to stop. All we could do is fight it the best way we can.
True that. And you know what? I give enough respect to you. Being up here in Calgary, Canada, how would I know a brother from Georgia, Tennessee area? I kind of know around where you're from. I've been there. I've lived there for actually a couple of years, believe it or not. But you built yourself such a great platform. You've got to meet the president, and you've got to go to the White House. Just enough props to you. Enough props to you, ABL. And you've done it the right way, and you've proven it can be done.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call and your compliment. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. You're on line speaker to 917.
Hey, ABL. It's Corinne from NYC.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, I'm so sorry, but what is the name of that dude that was in the video where he was mean to the dog?
Hasan Piker, Hasanabi.
Okay. Yeah, I don't follow him, but I have seen him on some shows where it's like a panel and, they're discussing politics. And I have seen him several times, little clips, where he has a temper. A short fuse. He very emotional and he snaps. There was one that I saw recently. I can't remember who was calling him out, but the dude was doing on the panel was just reading his quotes back to him. He was just saying, "This is what you said," and then that guy Hassan was just cutting him off, and he was like, "Shut up! Shut up! Just give me a chance to speak." He kept saying, "Shut up." I was like, "What is going on?" He was like red in the face almost. So yeah, he's kind of hinged a little bit. But I thought it was interesting that you asked who is following him, like who enjoys watching him, because I was thinking the same. And what I did take offense because when you said he sounds like a 13-year-old girl, but I just wanted to defend 13-year-old girls because I actually hang out with youth, and I hang out with actually 13 and 12-year-old girls, and that's offensive to them because they're not bringing that energy. They listen to their little K-pop, they're doing their little TikTok dances, they're nice to their pets and their little brothers and sisters. They've got happy energy. So there's nothing like that with them.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear. I'm glad that we got some positivity out of that because that guy right there, he's terrible.
Yeah, no, I don't know who his audience is. I mean, yeah, because he was hard to watch on the little clips that I have seen. But every time I've seen those clips, he's negative and angry and bitter. It's just not good.
Right. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Also, the Katie Porter in California, that little video that you showed, the few clips, that's kind of scary. And then the reports from the ex-husband, that's kind of frightening. And I guess we do see some of it where she was just started screaming and snapping at somebody for walking in her shot. But I thought it was interesting and amusing that she said to the journalist that's just asking her questions, that's to be expected when you are running in politics. This is what you got to get used to. She said, she said something like, I want a happy experience. I want a pleasant experience. What does she think this is? Like you're in politics now. It's not going to be a pleasant, happy experience. You just can't have the questions that you want to be asked and they're sipping lemonade with the journalists and everything's happy. No, we got to know what's going on with you. We got to ask you the hard questions. It's not a cakewalk. So I thought that was very, I thought that's kind of strange that she said that. This is not a happy, pleasant experience for me.
No, but it sounds like some therapy talk because she's been angry for a long time. So then the therapist is like, okay, we're going to have a new exercise. Let's have pleasant, happy experiences because you don't want to pour any more hot potatoes or nothing on somebody's head. Let's have a nice, pleasant experience. So that might be where that comes from. But what she missed.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. I didn't even think about therapy talk. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but that to me is a bad sign right there. The fact that she said that you are going to be expected to answer questions, and you can't get upset. Like the journalist said, I have asked this question of other people, not just you, and they've answered it. So what is the problem? Why are you having a problem with just answering tough questions? And her I'm done. I don't want to answer this. No, because it's unpleasant for you. What do you think this is?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody should worry about her. Maybe it's good that they're running her, because people will run away from that. I mean, I don't think people are going to vote for that.
Well, it is California, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did still vote for her.
Oh God, yeah. All right. Well, okay. Just wanted to call in to support and say hello and thank you for your show. I'll let you continue taking calls. Thanks, ABL.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Okay. Bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to the caller. Let's go to 504 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Alien Spaceship.
Alien Spaceship, what's going on, man?
Hey, I am doing well, and I've been looking at some of the different trials that have been going on recently, but not many are going on at the moment. But everything's going good on my end, and I've been watching the show. I do very great coverage as always, and I've been also keeping up with some of these things that are going on with the ICE crackdowns, and it's something that does need to be done, in my opinion, because I do think that there's lots of crime, although there's already crime in the country before the different people came from South America. I do think we don't need any more problems, and there should be a legal way of entering the country, in my opinion, and everybody that wants to come here legally is fine. And I do think that it's what's supposed to be done, and at the same time, the Antifa and the enemy groups are trying to stop them and make a big scene. But I certainly think that they are making the situation worse, and they certainly need to be stopped, and the ICE need to do what they're supposed to do.
100% correct. And that, to me, was the biggest issue of the election, was the illegal alien, the migrant crisis. So they need to keep doing their job and keep doing it well.
Yeah, and I do agree with you about the criminals being given accounts of, they need to be prosecuted for the crimes they're committing. And there are people, in my opinion, that are good, that just want to come in and have a good life, and they should come in the quickest way possible through a legal process. Because when you have people come in like that, I feel they would have less opportunities than if they came in naturally. And along with these other people, we need to show that the country is not going to stand for this type of criminal activity, and it's going to be a civilized society.
Absolutely, 100% correct.
And also, what I think is on the other note, the politician you were showing, I don't know what the lady's name is. I'm not familiar with her, but she was yelling at the person in the background. I think that was extremely rude, and it shows their poor character they have.
Yeah, that was Katie Porter out there in California, and yes, she's been like that for quite a long time because of the divorce documents from her ex-husband back in 2012, 2013, and she's still doing some of the same things right now. So very rude, disrespectful, and really, if that's a staffer, you're creating a toxic work environment, and that can be a complaint that's filed.
Yeah, exactly. And the person, in a sense, would just be like an NPC. And if she didn't call the person out, no one would have ever noticed the person. They don't really understand that because, in my opinion, I think some of these people are in tune with their emotions, and it shows the other motives behind how many of them work. And they act really immature also.
Yes, they do.
Right. And in other situations where there are, with the economy, for instance, I do feel that the inflation is going very high, and people have to go and understand that eventually over time, I do think it will get better because the past administration, I feel, completely messed everything up.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it was 4 years of really mismanagement, incompetence. So now it's a matter of getting things back on track and fixing the things that were broken back then.
Right. And there's this other situation where you're talking about Hasan, and I do think that people that have that follow him, it shows the decay of the society, how also men in particular, the way that the media has portrayed everything. It has caused everything to go under, thus causing people to follow people like him, as I said, thus because they're too much into their emotions, but they're not following the idea of having civilized discussions and debates, thus like what happened recently with their assassinations they like to do.
Right. And, when they get into the echo chambers of the negativity, that's when it could become, it could become dangerous because they're not getting anything other than affirmation for their negative opinion already. That kind of gets them further in that rabbit hole of destruction.
Right. And when they are in an echo chamber, That's all they hear, and they don't hear an outside opinion. And I feel that some of them may feel that the political position is like a religion to them. So rather, I'm not saying there's people on the left that are religious, but I feel that they've taken on their philosophy as a religion, especially some of them may be atheistic. So they feel that it's like a life or death situation, and they feel to achieve their political goal, they have to do things at all costs, and it doesn't matter what stands in their way. But that's just not how this country works, and their echo chamber causes more destruction. So I do think that's another factor, that their politics became their religion.
You're 100% correct. I agree with you.
And like the belief in God, in my opinion, and belief in these religious values, and people that may not be religious, the conservative movement, I think, has a very good mind frame. And when you do it like that and caring about other people and having empathy, that is a better outcome where you would have more what the founding fathers thought. And that's why I think our side is not how they are.
Absolutely correct. And, the things that we do, the empathy and just the good-hearted nature, is back to what I was saying earlier. It's about good versus evil. The evil does not want to have anything to do with the good. And the same thing for the good. We're not going to be aligned with the evil. And there goes the division.
Yeah, exactly. And they call us fascists when that's how they act like. And they also are making it, they're trying to make America into also a banana republic. And like also the Soviets and stuff that, yeah. And it is good versus evil, ABL. That's absolutely the same thing as it was for centuries. It's taken different forms.
100% correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. And how have you been?
Everything's been good, man. No complaints at all.
All right. Now, how's your weather?
Oh, the weather is pretty good. It's like we're getting into the fall. So it's like 75 in the day and a little bit chilly at night, but not too cold. The weather is perfect right now, actually.
Oh, that's good. Where I am, it's kind of warm, but it's starting to cool off. But today it was a little bit rainy. But yeah, the weather later this month, it'll get a little bit more cooler, but it's kind of like late summer. Okay, ABL, shout out to you and chat, and thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, great call from Alien Spaceship. Shout out to him, and shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with us. Let's go to 770. You're on line. Who am I speaking to? 770, hello.
Hey, how's it going, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Doing well. I'm thinking about this government shutdown, and I think it's crazy that, the government shut down. I mean, I thought it was crazy when Clinton shut the government down, and then I also thought it was crazy when Obama shut the government down also. And now I'm thinking, okay, we're doing this again. At what point? And now the ICE raids and everything, at what point can we say, like, okay, we're not agreeing? I've heard the term, peaceful divorce being thrown around, and that just sounds like it's a civil war with extra steps. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not really sure how those things are going to work, the national divorce, all that kind of stuff. I mean, for me, I think, I think what's going to end up happening is people are going to have to work for what they want. And if you're not working, if you're not contributing, if you're not doing anything, and you just want to be anti-society, you want to commit crime, there will be no more patience for people like that. I think that'll be what ends up happening. And then that'd be a great way to make a divide between those who are deserving of being in society and those who aren't.
I agree. And I think you should pull your weight. I think with all this freedom comes an equal level of responsibility. And I think that starts by not breaking the law. And so when people break the law and still get government handouts, I get really pissed about that. And so I struggle with the ICE raids because I'm like, on one hand, okay, you can't be here illegally. Then on the other hand, okay, I can't ignore everything liberals are saying if we're busting into cities and busting down doors. I struggle with it. I oscillate back and forth between, okay, this is what I voted for, and also this is what I voted for. You know what I mean?
I mean, ultimately, the Democrats are making the big stink over the illegal immigration because they want slave labor. It's the same thing they did before slavery ended. It was the same arguments. It was the same everything. It was no different. Who will pick this cotton? Who's gonna work the fields, picking the cotton, raising the kids, being the nurse? Who's gonna do these jobs that these slaves do right now? That was their thing. And then they were trying to be altruistic. Well, what are the slaves gonna do when they're free? You see how they They want to say they're doing good by enslaving the person. It's the same thing going on right now.
I see that. It's almost like the parties never switched. I only see one party that's still obsessed with race and slave wage labor. But that's a different story. But all right, ABL, you keep doing the Lord's work. I appreciate your take on that. That's actually pretty informative. We'll talk next time. It's good to hear from you.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, it's slave labor. It's the same thing. It's really no difference. It's just what its difference is. It's like the conditions you got to have the slaves in is different. You can't own them necessarily. You got to, but it's the same idea. You just want to get cheap labor. That's all that it is. The truckers, the illegal alien truckers are here because they are cheap labor. And when you bring in a bunch of them, it brings down the cost of trucking, which is their attempt at solving the inflation problem. It's by overinflating the market to the point where the truckers don't make as much as they should. Pennies on the dollar, slave wages. That's what it's all about. And Rome was like this at the end. They had slave labor and regular labor. How can regular labor compete with slave labor? That's why the Republicans outlawed it in 1865. And that's why Republicans are still having to enforce the outlawing of slavery in 2025. Party switch, ain't no party switch. The Democrats have always been the same. Washington, D.C., where the government is, ever since it was created, it has never, ever voted Republican. And when was D.C. created? Was it right around slavery time, like at the end of slavery? When was D.C. created? It was created 1790. Okay, 1790. And ever since they were able to vote in elections, they have never voted Republican. When did D.C. get the right to vote? When was that? Well, I'm going down the rabbit hole right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It ain't 1961. Oh, maybe it was. So it says that they voted in 1964 for the first time. That's crazy. But anyway, the point is, DC's always been for the Democratic Party because that was the party that was here before the Republican Party. People think when you call the GOP the Grand Old Party that they were the party that had slaves. In reality, the GOP did not exist until the end of slavery, and the first president was Abraham Lincoln, and he freed the slaves. The first president from the Republican Party was Abraham Lincoln. He freed the slaves. And he get popped right after that by, the dude in the theater. But anyway, shout out to you guys. That'll be a wrap for me for the calls tonight. You guys have been great as always. I will see you guys again live on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, I'm live on the Instagrams on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. till about 10:30-ish, whenever the case may be. But shout out to you guys. You guys are fantastic as always. I will see y'all next time. Thank you to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chat, and doing whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to everybody thank you to the moms for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I got my super chats here. I'll read these right quick. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Michael Critchlow, thank you to him. He says, Virginia legislature candidate Susanna Gibson, who made OF content, filed for divorce last year and was arrested for domestic violence 2 weeks ago. Wow. Talk about spiraling like Jenny from Forrest Gump. It's like, what in the world's happening? If you guys don't remember, Susanna Gibson was running for some office in Virginia a while back. Let me see if I can find her right quick. So, yeah, this is an article right here, New York Post. Okay. Ex-Virginia legislature candidate Susanna Gibson, who made online X videos, arrested for domestic violence. And there she go right there. Okay. So she was arrested in Henrico, which is like Richmond, on my birthday, September 22nd. That's crazy. Twilight Zone. For assault battery, family member. She was released after turning herself in. But Payne told the Post that her lawyer husband, 44-year-old John David Gibson, has been harassing her since she filed for divorce last year and claimed he was the one who got aggressive with her during a squabble back in June. Okay, see, I mean, you know, when you engage in a certain kind of behavior, engage in a certain kind of lifestyle, this is kind of what come with it, right? Okay, now when was she actually, and there go to, she ran as a Democrat in 2023. She was running for state government. Okay, she was a Democratic underdog on track to snatch a Richmond delegate seat in Virginia's 2023 state race when Republican operatives leaked her online videos to the media. Republican operatives, you have an online presence. You making content. It was gonna come out regardless. I think the Republicans did the Democrats a favor because what was going to happen was someone was going to blackmail her with that content while she was in office. Then she would have become corrupt. So we saved Virginia Democrats from a corrupt person. So you got this lady out here doing whatever she wants to do. You got to do Jay Jones threatening people in text messages, talking about they want to shoot them in the head and delete their kids. Democratic Party, you guys are pretty much bankrupt morally. You're bankrupt in every kind of way. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I appreciate y'all. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.